All right. Utility. Let me going down tier by tier, reviewing the new units. I did move up just slightly, Uber. Like I was pretty convinced by SS Brandon, and I did switch Cynthia there. So I don't know if anyone wants to go ahead and share some extra thoughts.
I'm not a fan of Brandon, but I know it's just more specifically me, so I don't mind it too much. Although I do find a bit of him having a separate subgroup rather than sharing
I
it.
was about
Yeah, I can
I
see
was
that as
considering
well.
having Cynthia with him because she did perform pretty well, but I kind of wanted you guys' opinion.
I think I'd
But
like it because, like, using Dawn
I
as an
rather
example, she does the same amount of buffs as her, and if you consider ramped up for Dawn, you can consider the master passive for Cynthia, and the buffs are about the same anyways. And then she has better bulk, better healing, and she gives the zone utility on top of that.
I think you'd rather just do the two save two subgroup thing again because it's always been a very tricky conversation. Like you cannot really say that Brennan is clearly better than all three, but you
Well,
can't really say
Yeah.
Red's worse than all three either.
that's an actual opinion that I've built. Like you know how I kind of group those two for the syntaxel stuff. Honestly, after using him, like I do feel he's separate from those two at least. From Cynthia, I don't know, but for me, I would separate him from those two.
Yeah, for me, he's separate as well, but I think Cynthia is also separate from them.
Yeah, so like this.
I'm
Yeah, that's what
okay
I'm thinking
with
of.
that, but probably that's the highest she should go.
Yeah, pretty much, but
Yeah,
like,
I don't see her.
just,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she has performed better than expected, but I think uh similar to I think Morley, part of my main criticism is that she can feel attached to more self-sufficient things than as a
yeah,
band-aid fix to anything. But I guess the association was there regardless, so I think it's fine.
okay. Anything
Now, I will
to?
say, like, if you have, it's the same sort of sufficiency as Mordia, because she both gives crit, and where Mordia gives +2 attack, she has the master passive.
Fagesh is a lot worse though.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
thing you need to.
It is
I mean, but
fine. I
that's the
mean, it's
difference, right?
worse than Morty's, kind of
Yeah, of
normal,
course.
but she has
Everyone
fine.
has worse days than
Yeah.
Morty.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
fine. Okay, let's not
that's fine.
waste too much time if you're kind of good with that. I will, nothing is locked, but that's a decent start. I don't really plan to change those things personally, for now at least. I remember, Palm, you kind of wanted Kiawi with those, maybe?
I think
Don't put him
Kiao looks
underneath, but
better.
separate the subgroup. Yes.
Wait, let Rapalm elaborate.
Yeah, I feel just Kiao is a less consistent version of those two, so I think he works better with the guys, or I mean the girls with Orange.
I'm fine with that. I still kind of. I mean, we did drop him quite a lot since the in the early days, but that's fine. I mean, anyone wants to defend red or orange more specifically?
I don't mind it actually, but within the subgroup context in itself, I actually wanted to put Lyra above Sabrina,
Mm-hmm.
actually, because I think what Lyra provides is more significant with Sun mixed defenses with TTT and Force Field. I think trying in LA it has been more rigorous in terms of its control, but her buffs are
Well,
also more
you don't really
distributed.
want TDT, but I mean that's fine. She works great in Sun. Well, to me, he's a bit more flexible than those two. Like they are a bit more specific, but I wouldn't mind like having them share a subgroup and reverse Lyra and Sabrina. I don't really mind either way.
I don't have a vehement opinion, but I would prefer Lyra over Sabrina. That's just my stance.
Okay. Anyone for or
Dark, what do you
against it?
think?
I think I could see Lyra over Sabrina, yeah.
And
Like,
Kiawe?
Kiawe, I think could go into orange as well.
All right.
Like, I'm not particularly preferring to any of it. Like,
Yeah.
I do feel Faulkner's better than Kiawe when it comes to buffing and the flinch and the other utility aspects, but
That's fine.
Kiawe is also just there.
That is fine. We did talk in text about this tier relatively extensively. So unless
Yeah.
someone has really high stance or grasp against it, I suppose Ropalm you would prefer Cobalion higher, but besides that, anything anyone wants to.
Oh, I'm fine with Cobalion there. Don't push him higher.
Okay. Oh,
I
well, I thought
actually
in your list it was like reverse with Elisa or something.
She is, but the one thing I actually wanted to talk about is that I've been really playing Elisa for a long time. I think she's like really good. I could see her topping her subgroup, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's very popular.
I think Ryan
I
is
prefer Caitlyn
really.
over. I prefer Elisa over Caitlyn, yes. But that was kind of reversed by Spark later on. But yeah, she's already in the orange subgroup, so I think it's fine if you want to keep it that way. But personally, I'd put her above Caitlyn.
You know, I love Sync Axel stuff, so I always try to not be biased on that, but I don't. I think Caitlyn has always been slightly overrated. She's good, very good, but I wouldn't
No,
mind
she's just really overrated to
reversing them.
me.
I think
Yeah, just reversing them,
B
I think.
B still sticks above, or she has the kind of hail niche
Do
and
everything, yeah. The tank, the
stun
buffs,
stuff.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think it's fine for me that I don't mind too much. Caitlyn aligns a little closer to Leaf for me, if
Yep.
anything. I don't
Yep.
know if yeah.
Same. Yeah, I prefer sitting with Leaf because Leaf does have her advantages over Kate, namely better long fight durability. Like Caitlyn gives better reward short term, but like her reward is nothing compared to Leaf's long term, and Leaf is literally the arguably the best LA support. So yeah.
Mhm. On A, we kind of did stuff already, but was Ropalm, you said like Deoxys D probably not that high or
Yeah,
whatever.
I've tried to make it work, but the guy is really bad with compared to all others. I almost never want to use him when I do see myself using Phoebe, Surge over Blue.
Hmm.
And like the guy, he lacks some of the key stuff. He doesn't have support EX
Yeah.
like Blue and Surge does, but his gauge is also really bad.
Hmm.
And
Honestly, I would say I know it's probably some of you might agree, some of you might not, but I almost feel like you could run. I mean, they're not comparable, but I don't see much incentive to use him while your Sabrina at least has the very focused on special attack buffs. I could even like have him lead this group and Sabrina be there instead.
Mm, I'm kind of thinking about mostly because I still have some associations with Mesprit, but I guess Mesprit's gauge is like I said, the main dividing factor is that Mesprit's gauge is better, and Mesprit also has better team-wide protection, but only in the form of screens rather than defense buffs.
Yeah,
But I do think the rigorous control is better. But the thing is, have you tried the MGR variant, like the one with both MGRs? Is it still that bad, Ropal?
I don't know.
Because he has two
I don't
MGRs,
use
right?
Deoxys defense.
for for defense,
Yeah, for defense, yeah. He has two MGRs. Like he has one MGR 9 on iron defense and another MGR as a normal passive. So I didn't think
kind
it
of
was that
works,
bad.
but like he will be okay for the first 3 turns or something. But MGR stops working after Iron Defense has maxed his defense, and
Yeah, he
he
reduces
can.
himself to a blob after the first turn. Like that's literally what he does. He just sits there and tanks it. He's kind of more of a selfish tank than a quote unquote support
That's
tank,
why I
more
was
optimal keeping himself
also
alive.
mentioning like leading with spears. Like they're not the same. But you know, it's like, okay, I have this big wall there, and this one brings like offenses, this one brings crit. Technically, even smooth tanking. So I don't know. I don't think it fits quite well there. I don't really much like the comparison with Mesprit.
Yeah, Mastery
Mm,
can heal the partners a little bit. It's not a great heal, but it can. It can max the special attack. I know, like, plus are sufficient, but considering it's psychic, so there is some demand, like Giovanni. I think Mastery
like
is
fast
just better,
as
and
well.
of course has the gauge, you unlike Steven.
Even relative to Sabrina, right, who shares the whole, you know, fast special attack buffing with the other durability components, do you think Mesprit should drop corresponding as well? Probably not, because it also gives like AoE speed and regen. That's actually quite
Yeah, that,
important.
remember you did say what I disagree should be that close to Caitlyn because she has
Right,
extra
right, right,
order and stuff.
right. The Caitlyn association, I agree.
Eh, yeah, still has pretty good. Honestly, I'm kind of for something like this. I don't know. Dark, you didn't really say anything. Do you have any specifically
Uh,
to say?
I mean, I could see that as well. Yeah, I was gonna say, um, are you all okay with Mishra having a solo subgroup? Or
That would. I think they're still better than New York Sabrina, so I would probably group this way instead.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Mm.
Or
On personal level, I'd have AN with 6 and lead with Sabrina, DOD, and PS. That's how I do it, but I think it's fine if you do that as well.
Yeah, but you don't like Sabrina in the first place, correct?
Yeah, but
Which
what's
is
wrong with
fine.
that?
I'm not like calling you like it's fine, but I think most people are higher on her. And remember, I've always been slightly higher than you guys on her because I don't know. For me, the
This is me, but can you swap Mesprit
endure
with Bugsy?
stuff, consistent special attack, and the ramping special attack up. For me, she has pretty good niche. Like for when you just want to go ham with special attacker, she just works well at what she does. She's not like insane or super
She
flexible.
also benefited from Ash because she's a Kanto
Also,
support that
that's true.
does something for Ash. Most Kanto supports just don't do anything for Ash because Ash does everything himself.
Yeah,
to add to the Kanto thing, if you want to do like PR builds for Ashe, she helps a lot with the endures.
true. Well,
For long
although
fights, yeah.
he does have it himself, but that's even more.
I mean, if you
But
want more
even
than two
from
for whatever
a
reason, but yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but even from a like content standpoint, I guess she does have a niche because chaining endurance for durability is quite important.
Hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Mostly seeing associations with Mesprit as well, but just the me thing. Can we swap Mesprit with Bugsy? I prefer Mesprit over Bugsy on personal level. I think it just
I
does more.
I don't. But we could group this way. This
That's
way,
fine.
it's a
Yeah,
bit more
that's
flexible.
Yeah,
fine.
that's probably
I
better.
don't really mind personally. I
That's
think
fine.
that
Yeah,
aligns. I like those three very subgroup, like very
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
different. They have different reasons to be, but they are similar, like crit attack plus something extra.
I'm not the biggest fan of Bugsy, but I understand why you guys detach him. But that's again,
Yeah.
there's a reason why I
There
want
is
them to be.
a, since you like association, there is a decent association with Valentine Dawn as well. I feel so.
I
I
feel
feel it is
she's kind of yeah.
decently better than those because I mean, maybe I value Lear much more. I mean, star drops are very good in my opinion. So plus,
Okay.
Sing Axel pretty easy to fit in the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Uh, anything else before I move on to the next tier?
I think it's fine,
It's
honestly.
fine. Yeah.
Cool. We do some rearrangement offline. there. Cynthia got a huge bump. We did talk quite a lot with it. How do you guys feel as of today? Mostly starting there up until end of B+,
I
I
prefer
suppose.
PS over DoD
Hmm?
because PS has a different form of durability while
Oh,
having
you mean,
team things.
okay, DOD. Uh, I,
DoD is more similar to yeah, they're both like kind of tanky things, but at least PS has some kind of insurance for the team instead of being a greedy tank thing because it still has crit gauge. So yeah, I prefer PS over DoD.
mhm.
You can also sort of argue like while Piers is doing his tank thing, you can like with obstruct you can get buffs as well from it.
Yeah, attack buffs, defense
Well,
drops.
to
Yeah,
be fair, let's also be fair to Steven. Like, he
That's true.
instantly gives the team some offense, but not that I want to just playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate remaining. But I don't mind reversing them. They are in the same subgroup for a reason,
yeah.
so I don't mind
Yeah.
Probably
swapping
no
them.
further down than that, but yeah, just swap them if you can. I'd prefer that.
That's
What do
fine.
you think,
Roban,
Rupal?
do you want something?
And the swap.
You
I've
want
said
this?
before, I
What?
think Pierce is actually kind of decent, so
Yeah, I mean, I think we are all in
Yeah, just
agreement
that the
to
level
Pierce being
that
good.
you
Like, some
appraise
of the
him is
community call him
different.
like useless, and we're all
Yeah.
relatively high, not high on him,
it
but
works at least.
yeah, it's
Also I do think he like aligns well with Sabrina because he also does have the endure niche but with
yeah,
NPR.
yeah.
I
I
prefer him
mean,
over Sabrina
for
and
me, he's a
aligning
good.
with
Oh yeah, you would like them swap. Well,
Phoebe,
we
yeah.
did just
Process
discuss.
Phoebe's arrangement like Ropel.
I do prefer your Sabrina's niche, but I can see an argument for either. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, to be fair, Sabrina's endure is like applicable to everyone. Well,
yeah.
Piers is just to himself, so there's
I
that.
mean, technically, if you want, the tiers are not like locked.
Yeah.
You could have something like this. That's fine to me.
Yeah, I think I prefer that, and then just correspond everything else to yeah.
Which would also facilitate
Yeah.
this
That would be better.
arrangement that works slightly better.
Yes, I agree.
But then, how you want to arrange the order and subgroup of this tier?
Let's see. I think you have okay. So Steven should always lead A minus, but uh, Skylar and Nita should always stay together as well. I think they both play very similarly, with Nita being better at fast context, while Skylar being better at
Stop
slow
it with
context.
that.
Summer Hilda is kind of weird because she's always had this really wacky kind of kid, right? Where
Yep.
she's extremely niche in what she does, but not to the point where it is like quote unquote awful, right? Like there are still appreciable fast.
Mhm. Roban, you were the one kind of bringing up Cynthia in the first place. Do you want to? Do you have something to say about this ordering, subgrouping
I think it's okay
topic?
the way it is. I would not I mean, detach Cynthia from Hilda,
Hmm.
but I can see her being lower because, like, topsy-turvy is kind of hard to evaluate because some battles it
Yep.
doesn't do much, but some battles it instantly wins, like
When it
versus
works,
Crescendia.
it's great. When it's not applicable, it makes the unit kind of pointless. That's the
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of problem.
it absolutely destroys Crescendia, for example.
But even on a blanket basis, like she is a very robust front line. She has issue being that what she does is usually not immediately appreciable by her surrounding pairs because like she also has a very expensive grid depending on what you want to tech. So like she can ramp, she can drop defenses, but mostly being her durability, which is if you think about it, kind of similar to Steven in the sense that Steven without as much long-term durability, mind you, but with probably better team benefits. So,
Maybe you want her to be kind of, hey, I'm unique. I don't know.
yeah. I also want Lily ahead of Cheryl, but I know I'm kind of alone in higher praiser of Lily. Everyone else hates Lily, so
I don't mind. For me, Lily and Cynthia should can at least be in the same subgroup because one has
crit gauge, yeah.
is a little, I don't know, I would say smoother,
Yeah, I can put them in the same
but
tier, but like
the
I wouldn't
other
mind.
have X support. I don't think
She has EX
Cheryl
support.
is
She has
that good.
team-wide regen. She has good durability herself with leech life for long battles. Yeah,
Yeah. I wouldn't really put her any higher though.
No,
it's fine.
yeah,
That's as high as she will, but yeah, no higher than that. That's fine.
Alright.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's fine. I personally like Cynthia with Hilda, but the lack of support AX, I think it can justify her being below.
Yeah, that's fine. Technically, we could like kind of extend a little bit. I mean, we could do something like this if
Actually,
you
do you
want.
want to put Hilda with like I don't know Steven or something? Because if you think about it, they are somewhat similar,
I
like
wouldn't put Steven
DOD.
any lower personally.
Yeah, I think
At least not for now.
because she has a niche that is more, kind of on the flexibility aspect. I would keep her there.
Yeah, but technically Steven is also quote unquote niche, right? Because he's
No,
not.
uh, he's different from being niche. Then he has few incentives to be played.
Yeah, that's just an issue.
That's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like what he does is applicable to anyone, but it's just not that.
He's just not that good at it.
Yeah, exactly. I would state it this way instead.
I suppose, yeah, but like if you think about it, like because technically Hilda also has like this very small thing of having crit gauge with being a multi durability orientated pair with like but with like crit gauge. But that durability is also rather selfish rather than for the team. And
So how
the
how
other parts being
how
no
how would
niche.
that look when you say you wanted them together? Okay, let's admit.
How do you drop Steven or buff Hilda? So like Steven, Hilda, then Skylar, Nita, or Skylar, Nita, then Hilda, Steven.
Yeah,
That's just
I
how it is.
wouldn't drop Steven below them to be honest.
And you did yourself said like Steven should always lead N minus, so you're kind of
Yeah.
I know. I'm just thinking about it. It's mostly Hilda buff
yeah,
and
but
Steven drop.
you're kind of making
Right.
an association there, which we it's fine,
Let's
but
just leave it as it is for now, I think. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
we remember we did drop him from there to there, so let's.
Yeah. That's big enough.
Yeah.
I think that's big enough. I think it's fine. Actually, I kind of like her, but being in this middle space of, it's kind of
Yeah.
tricky to state really how you want her to go. So it depends. Like when she applies, she might as well be there. That's and when
Yeah.
she doesn't, she might as well be there. So it's kind of very niche, unique.
Yeah.
Okay. Next year we did quite a lot of, not quite a lot, but there was some mishmash there. I do prefer Lana to everyone there. Personally,
I'm with you there. Yeah.
I agree.
I do like those two ending, but do we want to, for the ease of eye or any other reason, rearrange subgrouping there?
No, it's fine. I agree with this.
Yeah, I
I'm not
think
sure
it's
what
fine.
RuPaul thinks.
I think no, I think that
There's an
group is fine.
yeah. I
We
was
did.
gonna say there's an argument to put Morty above Evelyn, but that's about it.
I
That's
wouldn't
fine.
mind, yeah, but are you okay with that?
Like I'm fine with the current order if it's
Yeah.
just an argument.
It's not a
I mean,
behemoth one, but yeah,
it's
I
a
can see him
subgroup,
above.
so it's a four people
Yeah.
subgroup. You can,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ropalm, any strong stance on any of those four?
No, not in particular. I agree with Dark that I prefer Morty over Evelyn, but
If you guys prefer it, don't really mind, you know. That's
Yeah, I don't
if
mind it
it's
either.
like kind of unanimous. This is a subgroup, so I don't care about the order.
I prefer Levy over Sawyer, if you don't mind that.
Uh, I'm fine with that. Anyone wants to? I don't care too much. I think Dark also do prefer.
I do prefer it.
So that okay,
Yeah.
that's cool with me. I don't really care. Do you want to someone put an argument for Misty above Evelyn, or we good with that?
I don't care enough about those two. They feel kind of same because Eve has better raw stats. I think Misty's raw stats don't necessarily offset. She has more rigorous health control and has EX support, but I think Eve
Which is
has
why I
more
mentioned it.
use in.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah,
me.
I'm not
It's
against the current order actually. Like
okay.
I can see it, but like it doesn't matter to me whether which sits above the other because they're kind of this almost the same anyway. Just that
Yeah.
uh, one has better raw stats. One also has Carlos, which is kind of important for things like Verena, and the MP kind of matters for certain contexts, and Sacred Fire for LA. While the other just has EX support and more health control. Like if you value EX support and health control, that's fine.
Mhm.
But always sit underneath Morty is
Okay, I
what
think
my gut thinks.
she's good in the middle of those two. That's fine.
yeah, I think Evelyn is more reliable than Misty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we say, we are pretty locked on Morty there, so he might as well be subgrouped, almost.
I don't mind, yeah.
I will
For
think about it.
starting with Lana, I just didn't mention it because you said you like it Lana alone at the top.
I didn't say
I would prefer Lana
necessarily
alone at the top,
alone
yeah,
at
but
the
like
top,
you
but
understand.
I mostly wanted to say like I prefer her quite enough to the others to say she leads the
I
team.
think leave her alone for the time being. Like
Yeah, I will,
Yeah.
I
you
think,
know, do the tweak on my own if I feel necessary, but this
yeah.
looks fine for. I don't know. This group I kind of wanted to do some arrangement. I'm not sure exactly what you guys want. I guess
Fremont should always stay above Drake. I EX Drake the other day and I was extremely disappointed
I
by the
told
result.
you it's bad. Yeah, it's
Extremely
bad.
disappointed by the result. Yeah, very sad, but it's fine.
For me, I would probably do something like this and order them this way instead.
I can see that, yeah.
I prefer Rosa over both, quite
Oh yeah, yeah.
honestly.
I would, yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't going into B minus, but I was about to kind of see if that looks.
I prefer Rosa over both Clemont and
And
Drake on a personal level.
also Clement.
Gauge is better, durability is better in practice, but this assumes an invested Rosa, obviously, not a standard one.
I do like the
Yeah, Investitors is pretty good. Like, she's very unkillable.
ice screech. That's
But
weird.
Clemont is generally more useful beyond the EX because, he has Screech,
Yeah.
better durability. Well, like, Ray just feels like a much worse version of Roxanne. You just sit there clicking TMs and doing nothing else useful. Sync Region is a bait that is just you'd barely use at all because he doesn't have the gauge to sustain
Yeah,
without
it's mostly the
TM spam.
the endure niche with being, kind of a speed sport and potentially devastation sport mostly, which is, fine to acknowledge our niche, I would say.
I like to agree if
I would
Clement
like Rosa
has
to
better
end the
durability than Rosa.
Go ahead, Robon.
part.
I don't think Clement necessarily has better durability than Rosa because Rosa is far bulkier before the buffs, and she has the Master Healer Giga Drain,
I
so
think they
she
did.
can recover
That's
health.
what they were saying. I
Oh,
think
I understood
Yeah, just
the
end
opposite.
be with Rosa. Yeah.
you guys want to
Yeah.
end B resource? That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you want her swapped with Rachel?
No,
No, no.
no.
Fine with me. Do you want her solo, maybe? I think Rachel is
Yeah,
worse than
share it.
those three.
I agree. Yes, Rachel is worse than all of them.
That's fine. I think
But
I
you
would.
want Clemont first, then McChick.
No,
I
no,
guess
I
it's fine.
didn't. I was kind of messing around, but I would say I would like those three ordered, and then Drake in those.
I feel like I prefer Holeric over Drake as well because like Drake even then struggles to keep himself alive very well.
Holarica is
Quite
basically just a
honestly.
budget Rosa.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just budget Rosa. Yeah.
budget, but not budget in terms of
Yeah.
She's always a budget for
Well,
future play.
she does have
Like
differences
kit-wise.
with Rosa in that she's
no,
more of
but
a cleric. She has team
you,
wide regen.
no, you know
Her
what I
gauge
meant.
consumption is
It's a
yeah.
limited unit, and the other is a
Yeah.
critical unit. That I agree with what you were saying, guys. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Ordering Clement, Torchic, Acerol. I prefer this order. I mean, remember I kind of wanted him around there, so I think this order.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Are we being a bit too harsh on Lisa? This one thing I'm kind of wondering.
I hate her. But go ahead.
I mean, like it really Drake feels like what I thought Lisa would be, except like the value is just like tanking and the +1, whereas Lisa at least gives like offensive buffs, right? At least I don't think they should be separated by subgroup. That's just how I see it.
From who? From Drake?
Yeah,
I disagree. I think they are offensive buffs.
same subgroup. I mean, as in Lisa Drake, same subgroup. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but
So
I
then
don't
would you
think they
that
feel
prefer
I understood that. I was saying I do disagree
fair enough.
because like our offensive buff are when you go into such low tiers, like it's irrelevant. She doesn't have EX support and she doesn't provide any durability to the team. I really think.
Except special defense, yeah, but yeah, she's a lot squishier, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what you could do is you could make them aligned, but not in terms of subgroups, like, but positionally. So what you could do is,
Yeah,
like, would
I've
you want Ramos over Drake? Yeah.
I would.
It's always a kind of weird case of hey, hypnosis bullshit. Where do you
Yeah.
rank it? I also like him aligned with Erika at the same time because
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think it's fine then. Yeah, I was just thinking.
I mean, technically, for me, this girl could even be there, but it's not because she
Nah, let's just
receive.
keep it as
It's
is.
not because she receive a grid that suddenly she's good. Actually, she still do the same thing as she was doing before. For me, like
She just has NPR. Yeah, exactly. She just has
Yeah.
NPR now, basically.
I don't
She has
receive.
MPI and she has like passives for LA, but that's it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
slight like most of the stats, much like Drake, were in like the raw bulk department, like Kate style. But yeah, you get a lot of those +30 stuff, but that's it.
I think I like this order.
Yeah.
Ish. Could switch about some stuff, but for me, those three are have
I
their
like it.
slight niche. Those three, well, he is different than them, but kind of similar level. Go ahead, Rapon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with Ryan. I do think Drake is better than Holiday Erica because Drake at least buffs something for the team. Yeah. Holiday Erica, I just don't like playing her because she's a support that plays for herself. She doesn't really support the team much.
Beyond the durability aspect,
I mean,
yeah,
she
she has
does, but
strength for strength, but that's it.
we have higher stance on some durability pairs. She does provide the durability plus the team-wide heal. She has Lucky and
Yeah,
Trista.
but
She
Drake
has.
makes the
She had
team
fortune,
not
yeah.
take as much damage too, so
I mean, that's fine. I don't. I think I do prefer slightly disorder, but I don't really care that much to be locked on.
so it doesn't matter
Yeah, I
too
just
much.
think that like okay, like Drake is better at keeping his allies alive with raw defenses, but like I think long term,
I think the
even without much defensive buffs, like it's mostly just +1 defense and shared fortune, right? In the way of defenses, everything else is kind of just like raw regen plus the NPR with layup, which is not very consistent. But I
I
don't
think the
care about the
one
difference too
press
much.
button team heal still has a value for me, like in extended fight for LG. While this guy might start getting out sustained by some stages.
Yeah,
Up to you. I don't
like
know. Dark, do
he
you want any? I mean, you did say.
I think for LG, she does have access to regen.
and
Or
team-wide
Erica.
region crucially. It's just also a
Yeah,
gauge component.
yeah,
Drake
exactly.
does have regen too, so, but it's only for himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So like with Drake, you're gonna take less damage, but you're not gonna be able to heal it. Whereas Erica, you'll take more damage, but you'll be able to heal it. Pretty much. I think I'd prefer Erica there.
Okay. Well, I will revise if I feel like it's fine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not vehemently against either being ahead, but yeah, the
Yeah,
fact that we're
exactly.
kind of being particular of them means that they fit in the same group. Yeah,
Yeah, that's. Anyone wants to switch about Ramos? I don't want to extend too long on it, but if anyone wants to have Ramos somewhere, it's your
it's
time.
fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Cool. I honestly don't want to spend too much time on those. Anyone wants to say something?
It's just I prefer Fortin over Viola. I think Fortin is more relevant in a
I
LG niche setting.
I do noted that, and that's why I joined our subgroup. If anyone wants to support one or the other, go ahead.
I
I
prefer
do.
Viola, but I don't mind the switch.
I don't mind the switch either.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything else?
I think it's fine.
It's fine now. Yeah.
Lovely. Utility. I will see about subgrouping and stuff, but nice.
Who was at the bottom? Oh,
Go ahead.
Lucy and yeah, it's fine, it's fine. I just didn't see who was on D, so
Oh, sorry.
but I don't have nothing to comment.
Yeah. Why would you ever
I
use
mean,
that?
you can make an argument for Glacier being above Wolfring, but that's not really an endeavor worth entertaining that much yet.
Yeah. I mean, let's just wait on her getting EX and pop her a little higher, and
Yeah.
that will do the job.
That's pretty much all we're waiting on.
Or the grid buff thingy that
No, no,
she
no,
will
no.
very likely
They are
get because
doing that for hype unit for now. Don't. Sorry for your hope.
I mean, there's the only one who can really be bumped from there is Glacia and maybe Lisa if she gets
she
Lucy if she gets a
Yeah, we'll
grid.
see when she. I'm kind of like
Maylene also might bump
if
quite high if she gets a grid, but it depends on what it gets. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Let's move
They
on.
kind of have been doing bad grids for solid supports. Like Roxanne had a decent base kit and got a bad grid. Lisa got a
Lisa,
very bad grid.
Drake also got a bad grid. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also a bad support in the first place. He kind of got poops.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, cool stuff. I think I like it. Ah, what did I note for this list? All right. Uh, Uber, I like it.
Yep. No
It's
complaints.
fine.
I
S
still
plus.
prefer
Go ahead.
Serena, but
Oh, yep, yep.
Cynthia did buff Lucas and Zerina. I could see if you wanted Lucas above Lusamine, but just a discussion point that could be had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it.
Mind it. I
I was kind of
I
vocal about
prefer.
Lucas over Luz. I mean, go on, Spark.
I think I kind of do prefer that order still for now, but
Not
I
against
mean,
it. They're not that different to me.
I love Lucas because he buffs my waifus, but I just use him as a support. Not, I mean, he's quite good. I don't, care too much, I think. Dark, do you have anything to say?
I
will-
think that you can speak.
No, go. I was just about to say I will probably wait for Ropalm's discussion group to happen to see if really that might, gather extra thoughts.
I think personally, like for now, it's fine in terms of the order, because like while Cynthia does buff Lucas with the master passive, there's also still like Psychic still has a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
I feel.
But it's not because he receives the buff now that they are pre-existing buff, like all the
Yeah.
Aurora shit, all the psychics shit. Yeah, it's fine.
Part of the problem of Psychic being more versatile is because Psychic also has more setters, but Lucas is the setter. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, that's
Lusamin's
why
case
he
in
is that
particular,
high in the first place as well. Like, he's not.
yeah, and like Lusamin's case as well, like competition is getting higher and higher. Like her damage up, like a lot of what carries her is ramp MP and yeah, it's mostly ramp MP and expand range. Her damage range technically isn't that good anymore on a personal level, like such that it is her utility more than her output that warrants her there. In a similar
output
vein,
is below S plus, or I mean low S plus.
yes, like it's not that good anymore. But yeah,
I mean,
just leave it there for
I can.
now.
It seems like it's relatively. You guys, I can do that for now. Don't really want to spend 10 minutes on a singular subgroup that we somewhat agree
Yeah,
on.
it doesn't matter who
We have
sits above or not. They're the same
enough stuff to
tier,
cover.
and it's kind of divided.
But I'm fine with it. I like Lucas. I don't use her that much outside of ramping shit, so I don't care. Cool. So I did go with the suggested, kind of SS Giovanni rearrangement, stuff like that, that you mentioned, Ryan. Well, it was already the last time. Anyone wants to comment on SC Dianta, whether she... Not sure, Ryan, because you already told me your thoughts, so someone else.
I think Dianta is exactly where she should be.
Nice. Dark.
I think it's fine. Yeah, like Cynthia isn't really that much of a buff to her.
Yeah.
Like you can,
No.
like she is a buff, but like what happens
Yeah.
is you can sync with her and get an even stronger sync that's already overkill. But you
yeah,
lose
actually, I was
yes.
on a personal level. I don't think the actual buff of Cynthia to Dianta is rated at all to the sync.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do, I even showed that like 99k without zone. But I think the actual buff is that she gives her the defense right away, and the zone makes her lower damage better than it was before. So I think
pretty much.
that's the buff. But since Ropalm and Order were lower on her before, she might as well
I think
just
now it's fine.
maintain there.
Like a lot of what makes her there is her nuke, and Cynthia is basically just like an alternative. You get better DPS but no nuke, so I think it's fine.
Cool.
I mean, you can do, but like it is
Yeah,
not
again, you lose
a
your DPS. Yeah.
prevalent.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, with Cynthia, you can also
just wanted nuke. SS Morty does give inertia better, but
yeah,
he doesn't have defined zone for her DPS.
I think Dianta's new don't need max special attack, max speed, max blah blah blah, max everything. Like she just crush.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
I think regardless, Dianfa should never sit above SS Corina. Her range is.
Yeah, you did. I did remember
I can see the
you
argument
did
above
mention that.
Stormia, but not above Corina. But yeah, she's fine as she is right now to me.
Everyone agrees. I just did have a very quick question about do anyone wants to argue for Lear or SS Erika leading? I don't personally care too much. I do like Sync Axel very much more these days, but this
I prefer Lear.
Yeah.
Cool.
One thing that I still am a bit off is that I think SS Ethan should be alongside Sonya. I do think they're like limited to have a great DPS. Like if you say that Ethan outside of flying zone still has solid DPS, it still is similar to Sonya, and Sonya does have the utility of defense drops and that stuff.
Mm,
Are you willing to put Corina above Ethan?
I am. Personally, I am.
Yeah,
Because I think
Robam is
Ethan.
relatively low on Ethan, remember?
Yeah,
Is
but like,
Robal okay with like Corina above Ethan?
He just said yes.
Hmm.
because one thing that I never understood from you guys is like, oh, Ethan is versatile. Like, I think everyone below him is more versatile than him. All four units.
That's
Maybe not
The
Sonya.
versatility
Sonya is
comes
similar,
from the
but
fact that not necessarily in terms of teammates, but in terms of like, okay, you don't have to force him to play the non-juggling aeroblast style. Like different people see that style as like, oh, the juggling style is bad. Like some people think it's fine, some people think it's not. But in terms of partners, yes, he is technically more stunted than everything else there.
I actually, on that note, I feel the juggling style is actually better for LA. I did notice while playing it
Yeah,
because you skip mid bars and shit,
yeah.
by just doing that. So I actually think it's an actual upside.
I'm with Smurf on this. I think
Yeah.
like it's a good alternative at worst, and then it might even be better in some situations.
Yeah.
I
I
do
think
think
even
the
if
juggling
And
thing
you drop him
is
underneath
viable.
red at best.
yeah, exactly. You can put him below red, but like I wouldn't put him any lower personally.
I'm fine with it. It's just that, like, I think the juggling thing is viable. I don't think it's irrelevant. But I think juggling Ethan is not much different from a Corina or a Diantha with less support, or even maybe worse.
Well, Corina
Which
still
is
has the
fine.
shortcoming of the whole MP thing, even if Shadow Punch actually still hits like a truck. So I think it's up to you. But I
I mean,
think
I do like Corina pretty high. Like a Diaritol Plus is actually kind of relevant on her, and the kind of
we
innate
lowered blue for the
damage.
same reason, though. Let's kind of be careful on that.
Well, because at the time his composition were less use of it. That's that's what I was saying exactly. Is that I think
Yeah,
it,
but
it is
Corina technically also isn't running anything that wants the diet as well. I mean,
that's
she has better dual strike control because she costs no gauge at all, like touche. But like,
yeah, but that's because people assume you need Ghost Zone, which I heavily disagree with. Like, yeah,
yeah,
sure,
you don't need it.
you
No, you
can
don't need
get
it.
Ghost.
She's a truck without it. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? What we can do, we can do that if you want rope on. Does that make you more comfortable?
I think that works the best. Considering you are higher on Ethan too,
Yeah.
I think that's totally fair. Because I also put in on the same subgroup, so
Hmm. That's fine. That's fine with me. I would still have an argument that I kind of prefer him a bit more than I with SS Red, but it's fine. Uh, Also, Red, even though we did mention that in the past, but we did mention recently that hybrid type of damage is getting slightly more relevant these days, and Flare Blitz Red is actually not a meme in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
yeah,
not
it's a
as good
meme
as like
normally
Robo.
because Blast Bear exists, but when you do need physical damage, it can work.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
Azelf and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've done
cool.
some clears.
And
I
like
even
Reinhardt
done.
kind of comps with,
Well,
we want to
Yeah,
plus,
make
Liz it was
I mean,
reset too.
Sun comps are busted anyway, so yeah, you know, it's good there
I
in
actually
that
wanted
sense.
to talk about Giovanni because I'm not sure if we are currently underrating him or not, actually. Because I think in terms of
I will never put him above SS Erika personally.
would never even group him with Lear and Erica, if
Same,
I'm being honest.
same.
Fair enough. Okay. And he's as high as you can get. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. S tier. First of all, I feel these kind of tiers are fine for me. I will let anyone argue with anything. But I did remember Ropalm had some things to say about Blue, so maybe we want to start with that.
Yeah, I think Blue does benefit from two things. The increased relevance of mixed damage, because
Yes,
Blue is one of the few characters who has good mixed damage on both sides.
agreed.
Hyper Beam is better, but Double Edge is not exactly lacking. And he's one of the biggest characters that benefit from Canton Master Passes, because he can just get that 80% Hyper Beam multiplier and
Yep.
his per DPS build skyrockets.
So the question for me is, how high do you envision this bump?
Never above, uh, never above N. Above delay is fine, but no more than that on a personal level.
Ropalm?
I don't think above Lily is the least he should receive.
Yeah, above delay is fine, but I don't think he's still necessarily better than Cyrus and in particular. Not
Well,
compositionally, anyway.
Cyrus, you don't know how I feel. Cyrus, I legit
I mean,
like
he
more
has
than Archie at the moment.
Cyrus here, kind of, so he does agree with you on that regard.
Yeah, I think Cyrus could be with Emmet, but I don't think Cyrus is better than Archie at the moment. He also benefits from Cynthia too, for both of his builds,
Are you guys
both
willing to
the
drop Archie?
water
Because
build.
I'd be down for that as well. I think Archie's pretty overrated.
I mean, I'm fine with it, yeah.
Fine with it too. I don't
I think
think
I
But
was
how
just talking about
far?
that,
Like,
so.
do you
it's trigger picking.
underneath Leon and Cyrus, perhaps?
Would you
Like,
be
if you're
willing
willing.
to like,
Yeah.
yeah, like just put?
Is it fine?
Please do.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say you could maybe like just swap Cyrus and Archie, because I think Cyrus is also like pretty high anyways.
Yeah, but I prefer Leon over Archie. Leon over Cyrus still. And I think Spark also thinks that
I
way.
do as well, but I can see the consistency in Cyrus being, more valued for a lot of the community, I would say. But
It's fine.
I'm still a bit higher on SS Leon. I agree.
Mm.
But it's mostly
I mean, you
because
could.
of the nuke and ramp, right? Because, like,
Yep.
Cyrus is more
No,
powerful, but,
I
like,
wouldn't even say the actual nuke. I would say I mean, maybe that's what you meant, but the actual Eterna beam. Plus, oh, of
yeah,
course,
it's
he
mostly
can.
Eternal Beam, but, like, even the Inertia nuke isn't that good on Leon, technically.
Yeah, that's
That's what
right.
I'm saying.
I rarely use it, but I like the unit as it is without the inertia uh,
Well,
Yeah.
usage.
I actually think the inertia nuke damage is fine.
No, it's
It's a
fine.
bit higher than Cyrus, but Cyrus has the sure crit. Leon
Not
has
that
the
much
No,
education
higher.
in my
increase.
opinion, it's fine, but it's just that I pair him with stuff that would nuke better than him anyway. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I mean,
might
it's an
as well.
option, right?
It's an option,
I mean,
exactly.
from the lens of, like, what does more? I think Leon does more, even though some things he's not doing as much as. He might not do some things as well as Cyrus, but, like, at least he does more, and he's not that much worse off in the domains where he is worse than him. So, yeah.
yeah, and Cyrus does have like. It's really hard to say if the water build of the dragon build for Cyrus is better at the moment. I think I prefer water, but
I agree
the
that
dragon one is really
the
good.
type coverage, although that those are two types that are very, very much overloaded already, but the type coverage is still there. That's not.
I don't value the type coverage over, like, ramp, Eterna Beam,
No, yeah,
and.
sure, but Leon's ramp, although it's very easy to complement, is not entirely enough, on himself. But I don't know. slightly prefer Leon, but it's
So do I.
more of a I prefer playing him than I prefer the unit being higher. So I can't really say, it's hard for me.
Technically, by criteria, your criteria favors Leon more because individual rather than comp. Compositionally, you could argue Cyrus is better, but Leon does more
Well,
things individually.
individually, Cyrus he does everything
Like
for
individually,
himself.
Cyrus has yeah,
So I kind of,
and he does it
both,
faster as well.
yeah, both do their shit on their own.
Yeah.
So
Is it? Okay. Okay, touche, because speed, yeah. Because
I mean,
Leon
his
kind of have
TM
the
is
own speed.
I
yeah.
think I could do something like this, and I know you did disagree, but thing like this, I don't know.
I can see that. Yeah,
Bit above, and I don't really agree with it, but
I
okay.
prefer this a little bit, but subgroup.
I don't really agree with blue sitting above, but
That's fine. I feel I would still re-bring the direct all plus argument, kind of like why Archie still brings rain, it still brings the direct all
fair
plus,
enough. Okay,
and
fair enough.
there's what I mean, unless Robin was the one mentioning above to blue, unless you feel he shouldn't go higher than that, Robin.
Uh, no, I think where he is fine. Like, and he's better at doing damage than Blue, but Blue has the AoE crit. He has the mixed damage. He has arguably some stronger comps, but partly because he's Kanto and Kanto has Pikachu.
Yeah, I think it's the unit, like if you run like I can understand why you don't want N to go below because it still works very great as it is, but slightly more flexibility on blue side would push it for me.
Yeah, and Blue, of course, he still has the sand builds, not like
Yep.
those are we got a
Can I move
about.
Emmet above Lily as well then? Because I think it aligns better that
Um,
way. Because Emmet is a ramp. Emmet has sure crit as well with a better nuke. Like his DPS is worse, but not that much worse. And he has better insurance defensively as well to me because of the damage card and stuff.
No,
I think
defensively, I
Lily's
think
just fallen
I would
off.
give to Lily because Lily has potion, she has health benefits, she has the master passive too. I don't
yeah,
think Emmet is better
I do
defensively.
prefer Lily
Yeah.
above. She
yeah.
has a bit more utility to the team, and the one turn TM makes make her any team.
Lily
Fair
also
enough then.
has damage guard, but her is not on demand. Her
Yeah.
is on half HP.
Oh, the DDG. Yeah, she also have DDG. I forgot. Yeah.
I mean, technically,
Okay.
damage guard on Emmet problem as well is that it's not really on demand because you're just
Yeah, it's
using
on his TM.
as the
Yeah.
as it starts. So if you take an AOE before the sync, damage guard didn't do much, in my opinion.
Also, you're
And
kind of
health benefits is kind of like a damage guard for sync because
Yep,
both will have the damage. So
yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with that order. I did. I didn't specifically wanted to mention Leon myself, but since I noticed the rest of the community appreciate him more, do you guys want to say anything about Leon maybe being
I
around there?
hate him.
Personally not, but just opening the thoughts.
I hate him.
No, I know that. That's not what I asked.
I do think Leon would work better on the yellow subgroup, but I don't think you're desperate for doing it.
Yeah.
If anything, I think he could separate from May,
Mhm.
but
yeah.
Yeah, but then the subgrouping there becomes a little tricky for me.
I mean, it's
That's
gonna be
true.
tricky when we talk about NY Voltner anyways, because that's another unit we have to talk about that gets buffed pretty
Is
significantly.
let's take Turbat here.
You see what I mean later, but yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's fine. Not worry. Uh, so you would prefer May being there this way, Robal?
I think so.
Yeah, like I'm lower on me as a bit as well.
Fine with me.
So I think that's fine with me.
Fine,
I think
fine.
Alder moved because of Rosa, because like
He
Rosa
did.
is just one more devastation neighbor, but
He did move. I mean, just one spot, but above silver.
Yeah, he
But
moved above silver when we swapped him back, but I don't think it's enough to move him above Raihan. No.
yeah, because like he already had beads before, so like Rosa is better, but
I do.
devastation buffs are being kind of gradual,
I
so
would
it's not
say
moving it too much.
not to cut off the. I would say I do prefer Brian enough to not very much consider him being higher. I think I.
I also prefer Raihan over
I
May, but
think
that's
I
just
don't
me.
prefer him to anyone above. Technically.
Yeah,
I
that
prefer him
I
over
think I
May, aligning
prefer
with
too.
the Archie drop, because it's kind of odd to like have lower appraisal on Archie but not May as well. So I think I prefer Raihan over May as a result. I've always preferred Raihan over, quite a few things on this list as well, but that's not a very popular opinion. But at least above May is fine for me.
So you would align her a little closer to silver, which kind
Yeah,
of makes
I would.
sense, and below Archie.
Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I feel like Rain on Demand is still, but
Yeah.
SS Chris exists, so I guess you're not. Well, the thing is, SS Chris exists, so it does take away kind of the Rain aspect of May. But at the same time, she's an amazing support for May, so it's kind of tricky to.
Yeah, it's tricky as well, but technically, damage-wise, May isn't really excellent. It's mostly the rain that carries her, whereas Archie at least has the damage to back the rain up.
Oh well,
Whereas,
what
like,
I like more about May is that the nuke is so easy and reliable that for me it's pretty good. But yeah,
it's not that powerful, but yeah, I get it.
it's powerful enough to take off a bar of LA. That's what matters in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
But hey, I don't know, Robin.
I think that's good. I was actually mentioning Alder more specifically just to talk about him, but
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily pushing him higher, but I like that order, so
Okay. Yeah, actually it was not very much. It was more of a May
May
drop than
drop.
a alter buff. So I mean that's
Well, May is
fine.
dropping because Archie's dropping, so like,
I wouldn't
consistency.
say because it's just that yeah, it does make sense, but yeah, that's fine. Okay. Last subgroup. I I think I did just swap Brendan and Cynthia, but that's about it.
I think it's fine.
Oh, you actually put Cynthia was lower before?
Oh no, she was just swapped with Brendan. Maybe not on the last. Oh yeah, actually on the last iteration, it was like that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about her, not necessarily pushing further up, but just to see what do you guys think,
Mhm,
since you guys generally do push versatility a bit more,
mhm.
and I think Cynthia is kind of lacking a bit without Curtin and Ingo, because I tried to play her with Nita and Berta. It wasn't very satisfying, but
Yeah,
But
it's
it's.
not
technically,
like the
Brendan
other
also needs
two.
both Sun and Terrain, so well, I
Yeah,
guess he can play more independently of Sun because it's DPS, but like.
I feel to answer Bopalm, I kind of feel the same. My standards being lower, of course, but when I was looking at both, I feel they are pretty similar because for me, Brendan has kind of flexibility of partners, but actually, I would say without his ideal partners, he's still a bit like lacking. Though I didn't X him, so I can't, uh, you know.
Well, he technically needs, again, he needs both Sun and actually Terrain. Same way Cynthia needs both Sand and Ground Zone now, so.
I don't like the
Yeah,
term
that's
need because you clean any stage without those, but I see what you mean.
yeah, that was what I wanted to see what you guys thought, because I think Brandon with just Sun is better than Cynthia with just Sand, but I think Cynthia with Zone is better than Brandon with Terrain,
Hmm.
I mean, they're
because
together for a
Cynthia does get
reason, right?
her
It doesn't
better
matter
CP.
that much. But if you argue the mix thing, which to an extent Brendan kinda does, like not in terms of DPS, but like
Yeah, as a
special DPS
physical
with physical
nuke
look.
with a special. That's true. And to bring back to the good old self-sufficiency, I mean, Cynthia's buff is nice as long as you have Sun, but he does have a +6/+6 instant from himself.
Yeah, but
And
he's reliant on foreign speed because unless he runs amped up, right?
yes,
So that's just another
agreed.
thing. I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't mind keeping the initial order in any case. I do want
I
to.
don't mind either other. I just brought up because
No,
I
no,
want to see what you guys
yeah.
talked about.
I have no clue what order I want for. The only thing I'm
I
kind of
mean,
locked is ending with Mewtwo, which I still like
wait,
in
wait,
the
wait, wait,
subgroup.
wait, 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 wait. No, now that we're here anyway, can we talk about NY Volkner first? Because that's kind of important.
Okay.
Because he does have potential to join that subgroup now, if you think about it, with like Red and Cynthia now, because he has a foreign source. His damage output is similar, if not better, than Giovanni, Cynthia, and rest. Probably not Cynthia, but probably better than Giovanni, I think, due to scaling on an average basis, because Static Shock 8 and DPS is also kind of higher and sufficiency is also better. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think he has an argument to sit as minus to me
Let
after
me
Red's
quick
arrival.
check his damage because it has been a long time and Wagner is kind of hard to build a grid because he has to choose between more DPS or more nuke.
Which is fine, choosing, but I don't know.
Which is not a problem the others have. I think that's the argument.
Yeah,
They can run
I
DP.
don't think I want him subgrouped with them personally, but I do
Like
think
top of A
he
plus.
can get a big bump. But subgroup with them, I don't
You
want
do like
like
top of A plus,
They
I
also have
think.
softened up, right? So
electric
yeah.
terrain was existing before. Like for me, like you're saying that, but classic Elisa was already a very, 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 very good partner of him. Like totally fine. I don't see why Red changes that much.
To be fair,
No,
he
go
gets
ahead.
his AoE power less. He gets AoE power easier because of the
So does
Moxie.
Elisa though. Elisa also gets
Elisa
True.
AoE.
does it with
True,
one
true,
move.
true, true, true. Wait,
Yeah,
I
no, I
forgot.
think
Yeah.
the other deal is that Volkner can actually run Static Shock 8 with Ram Speed softened up because Red covers his accuracy now.
Yeah.
That's
No, no, I
true.
mean, I didn't say Red wasn't a good new partner for him. I just said like when we're speaking about buffs, like it's not like some something huge and new came from him. The gameplay was
I'm not
still.
sure what his range is compared to Giovanni, but I think with Red, I think it becomes more palpable that he's at least comparable to Giovanni, if not being better, but that's just me. I'm not sure what the range is. I haven't calced that yet because I was calking other things that we'll discuss later.
I think I do prefer
Yeah, like regardless, I
this.
think top of A plus is fine.
It depends on how many debuffs Giovanni has. Like Giovanni with no debuffs is weaker than Volkner always. With one debuff,
Imagine
I
playing
think
Giovanni
they're
with no
tied.
debuffs.
But like you have to consider that what you pair NY Vulcaners, whether it's Cielisa or Red, they do debuff as well.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, they
mean
did.
for Giovanni's multipliers. The
Right, but
Mark Pants and Brain Teaser.
then if you does Brain Teaser make up the difference though?
Yeah, because Volkner also has like the Spadef drops now with both Red
Yeah.
and Elisa, so
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think it's kind of hard to build Volkner's grid because it is kind of expensive and he can focus more on DPS or more on nuke.
Yeah, but
But
that's a
running
flexibility
out of
choice
them.
more than a downside, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No,
And
I
also
mean
like
just
you can just
for
go
the comparison
full.
of the calc. But running a
Oh yeah,
nuke
I
grid
see
for
what you
Volkner, his damage is like Giovanni with -1 special defense. Beyond -1, Giovanni beats him, and before the -1, so neutral, Volkner is better.
He has better self-efficiency than Giovanni.
Yes.
That too.
and
I
he
think
can
they
also
should be on the same subgroup.
Also, when you pair him with Red, you get the extra 2 sync cycles of terrain if you sync with him once, so there's that as well.
Yeah.
Same
Back
subgroup
into
does
a
mess up
variety of things.
everything. Tier is too big.
Unless
Yeah.
you move, I don't know, you move what, Leah up to Uber and Leon to the end of S or something. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to separate here from Erika, at least.
Same.
What would you think about moving forward up then or something?
I mean, you know, at some point the tiers can extend. I don't mind it. It's just, you know, that we're not.
Yeah.
Look, if we feel he's on par with those, we should
I do
go
feel
for
it's
it.
on par. It's more
But
indicative to
the
me.
thing
Yeah.
is, we have a Leon solo subgroup. I mean, it doesn't solve anything because that's shift the primes there. But if we feel he's solo subgroup, I can as well do this way.
Prefer all of them in the same. I prefer him leading his own subgroup in S minus. Yeah.
Which is fine for me. But I was just mentioning. I mean, that's fine to me. That's fine to me. I don't mind it either way. Well,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, yeah, cool enough. Just to put it as it was, it was like this for A plus group.
How do you guys think Nessa compares to Steven?
As in the base one. Uh this is a very tricky question because Steven always wins damage wise, I think, but Nessa has more utility and a stronger nuke.
I think
And she's also more versatile. Like, I
think
know people like to say, "Oh, Steven hit so hard," because on release people did say he was worse than he was. But like, his damage is not that high. It's not
I'm always
incredibly
disappointed
No,
when
there's
I
too
powerful.
much
when I use
variance
him.
as well. Like, what are you running with him that maxes everything? Technically, Cynthia is kind of a buff to him because instant +6/+6 and all, but like that's kind of just a different story because like what
That's
rounds off his
something he
attack,
already
right?
does in the long run if you're
Yeah, like
on the
that's the
launch
thing.
stage.
Like you with Annie Steven, you mainly want something that he doesn't buff.
Yeah. To answer
And Cynthia
Ropam,
also doesn't max his attack, so
to
he
answer
would
And she has
lose on that.
Ropam
entry, yeah.
question, I think I like Nessa more than anyone here, anyways.
Are you willing to lead A plus with her? I don't mind. I like Nessa a lot as well. I think she's actually really strong. Uh, Utility wise, I run DC for double the value AOE.
Yeah,
She
she has
got
good
buffed with
utility, she has
May
type
and
coverage, she has DPS or nuke or both. She is very
durability as well, like
flexible.
restraint recovery. Yeah, I play a tank unironically on a few occasions. Yeah.
Her buffs are
Every move.
good enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, fair enough. I was
Does
surprised that
Marnie
Ropam was the one bringing that up, if anything. But that's
does
fine.
Marnie get buffed by recent
No,
shifts too?
I disagree.
Probably not, I guess,
Marnie is a
because nobody
dark
cares.
attacker. She's not an electric pair. It is.
And Red looks better than her
Yeah.
on Electric.
Like the main difference between her and my Volkner is the more like
The
she already has Volkner as a partner for
Actually,
terrain.
my argument would be that the actual buff to Marnie dispatch is not the electric ones, it's Cynthia, because power
Yeah.
trip get maxed pretty decently. So if anything, the buff would
No,
be Cynthia.
Power Trip is maxed just by maxing attack and speed,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So
it
it's
doesn't
not
Yeah,
change.
it's not a
not even a
big
buff.
deal.
Yeah.
I was
Even
thinking maybe you should drop her actually, because I wasn't sure if you guys saw buffers, but even if he doesn't get buff, I think she does deserve a bit of a drop.
I
Not
wouldn't
that
be
much,
opposed,
but
but I don't think she's really worse than the
I think she's worse
others.
than Leon at least. Because I think
I think I
because
like Marnie more.
she feels like a one trick, but yeah.
I disagree with the one trick aspect. I would disagree with
Yeah.
that, actually.
Like she does have the different type coverages.
Yeah. I think she's
Yeah,
actually
but
not a
Aura
one trick.
Wheel shits like
No. Type
okay,
coverage. You can nuke with electric and hit with dark,
okay.
is what
Yeah.
he meant.
I guess you also
you're
set
not
some more
playing Aura
fluid.
Wheel on type when it does less damage than.
Auto Wheel is worse than off
Yeah,
type.
exactly. That's
It's not a move.
just to buff your speed if you need it. That's it. So go ahead. Someone wanted to, I don't know, say something. Maybe we can address B if you want to start with that instead.
I think one thing I note that a very underrated partner for Bea is Nita, because technically you run like red Nita plus red in with like turbo param, she literally just gets the full nuke in like 2 cycles and she just kills everything.
I
Yeah.
disagree
So I think
with
Nita.
one sentence you said that it's an underrated partner. I think it's our best partner, so I disagree that it's underrated. It's mostly
I
Nita
haven't
being
seen anyone.
underrated. It's
No
not.
one comments on running Nita with Bear.
Yeah, you're just assuming people are underrated, but it's wrong. It's actually
But
one
it
of
is a
their best
buff, yeah,
partners.
Nita is, yeah. So it accelerates her very quickly, and then Cynthia is also kind of a buff. Like, it's not a big one, but
Somewhat,
it's there.
yeah. It doesn't help going faster, so she still needs something else. But it's still like fighting zone for fighting units, so not gonna
Yeah.
deny this. Well, I wouldn't mind being more aligned with Marnie, actually. I think I want this guy to end the tier regardless of
Yes,
rank.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Or maybe with Hilbert if you were to join, but whatever, let's not. I'm
Work
just
on that later, yeah.
not sure how you want to order those. I think I would do Marnie B Leon personally, but I'm not sure how you guys.
That's how
I'm trying
I
to
would do
think
it
if.
personally.
Oh, you're saying that, you can go ahead.
I just said that's how I would do it.
Same.
Like
I'm trying to
personally.
think if I prefer Bea over Leon or not, because Leon still has like 44% AoE freeze, which is kind of big.
Yeah. But hey, killing the whole stage is better than freezing
His
them.
nuke isn't that good, yeah, and then he has this kind of slow ramping thing, so it's mostly utility. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, but
But I
kind
think
of
they
the
are
catch-up start
decently better than him to
Hala, yeah.
sprite them.
I was actually thinking if Hala needed a drop, because again, Hala's issue isn't the sufficiency or the bulk or the it's just damage. His damage just isn't that good anymore. It's actually pretty bad.
I don't play
Like,
much like Hala. What I like about him is his buffing profile mostly, and the fact that you can nuke, you can hard DPS, or you can hail, you can
yeah,
not hail. You know,
again, his only problem is that his damage isn't good enough. Everything else isn't a problem. Like, it's just his damage isn't that good anymore.
you know. But I
Yeah,
think
Hala
Uh,
would
I
be
would
a character that
actually
would love Ice Zone because I think Hala with Ice Zone will be better than Leon with Ice Zone.
probably. But I think I would bring up.
yeah, he'd be in freaking S minus tier at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do I bring the two or just Hilbert?
Can we kind of move everything else before we do that? Because it's kind of tricky to see how we want to approach this.
No,
I
I would say move everything at a time instead.
well save a copy first, then do this because I want to see if
Yeah,
it looks better.
that's fine. I think I would prefer just Hilbert. Join him.
Yeah, I can see that. And then like maybe you could move either both N and Sigma up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
And,
Ryan
and
wanted to
Messi
talk.
were buffed this update
I wanted to
too.
talk about Guzma
Well,
as well.
it
Yeah.
to start with, like if anyone watched the video and Guzma
Can I talk
did.
about Guzma first?
No, I'm talking about Guzma literally right now. Just for context, he did start from around there to bumping at the start of the tier. That's what we did, which is cool. So go ahead.
Okay. The thing about Guzman now, especially fighting zone, is I think we put a lot of flag on the whole dynamic punch thing being extremely mean. But now that he has a mode where he doesn't have to rely on ING anymore because hammer arm and zone is fine, he can ramp, he can get fuzzy strike reliably from staggering blow from Cynthia's 50% coin flip back confusion infliction. So is he really supposed to be that low if you think about it?
No, I think
Like
he's.
even then,
I think he's. I think one thing that because people are so much loving this stacking stuff that it's whatever to me. He instant maxes himself to set up a nuke that kills the whole stage. So
like
that,
yeah, like technically, if you think about it, in terms of brutal efficiency, he's almost as good as Hala at that, and he also has the same range as freaking Hala as well. Like not hammer arm, but now with zone, technically yes, hammer arm because hammer arm without zone doesn't do that much damage. But even prior to no zone, you can just kind of proc tenacity with hammer arm instead if you don't want to deal with the ING because his output is balanced off tenacity stacks. Like his base damage outside of dynamic punch is low because he wants to use stacks to get high damage and kind of compensate for that. But
I don't like how it plays on stack. That's my main grasp against it. You mentioned the word meme and stuff. That's not what I. It's not because it's meme. It's we're in a game where denying turns and stuff like that is super valuable, and I don't. That's
yeah,
what
but
I
he
don't
can
like
do
about
that
it.
now, is my point. By just clicking hammer arm. That's kind of my
Okay,
point.
yeah,
He can do it now.
that's fine. That's fine. But how far do you want? That's my question is how far you want
At
him?
least mid A to me. Like probably in the same subgroup with Hilda, maybe at least above Tech Strike Gyarados. That's just how I see it. I'm not sure what you guys see it as well, Ropel and Dark. I'd like your opinion on this.
Yep.
So, what partly what I think is that like I think both SC Hilda and SS Cynthia are worse than mostly everyone down to N there. I will.
Compositionally, yes. Individually, not necessarily.
I mean, I don't think they're amazing individually either.
They're not.
They're not, but like
That's not true.
historically, you have higher appraisal of Lance because compositionally he has the higher output, but like Lance has no self-sufficiency. If you get what I mean, it's kind of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we are still in the context of my list, which does. It's actually this part of the list that is the most impacted by it. So it's always tricky when we talk about one list or the others, but I think I like the kind of the lenses and and on around those units, kind of ending this part of the list, and then you move forward with different types of units.
No, I just find that like their versatility is similar to Alistair and Gloria
Yeah, that's
Who?
for Hilda
Kuzma?
and Cynthia. No, Hilda and Cynthia.
oh, ooh, uh,
Like I think they both fit the top of A minus perfectly.
I'm very conflicted by what you're saying every time on Dianta because I never managed to know if you want Dianta higher or lower. You always seem to go back and forth with Dianta. I would like to know your actual
Genfa is
opinion.
actually very tricky because she she doesn't deal enough damage to necessarily be considered great because like she doesn't have Arizona yet, but when you get that is different. But she also doesn't have too shitty self-sufficiency to be considered bad either. She kind of sits at this very awkward borderline, which is why we kind of sandwich her at the top of between like things with bad self-sufficiency but not as good output in the form of like Cynthia and Hilda and the raw stuff with lack of self-sufficiency like Lance and the Lances essentially.
Yeah, I personally like have Diantha lower, but like at the bottom of A, while I would have Hilda and Cynthia at the top of A minus.
Eh.
What do you think, Doc? We need more opinions.
I mean, like what you said is she's just tricky to rank. I think.
No, as a whole, I mean the whole thing about Hilda, Cynthia, and the Lances. What's your personal opinion on that?
I mean, relative to SC Guzma, I think I'd put him higher than the Lances, but I don't think he'd be higher than the rest when it comes to Cynthia and Hilda.
So you think Cynthia and Hilda should still be above the Lances then? Is that it?
I think
I mean,
in the
for now, yes.
context of my list, that makes
Yeah,
more
in the
sense.
context of his list,
If
yeah.
we're otherwise we're kind of shifting from like just using the same framework as which is, you know,
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate the opinion
Uh,
of Ropan, but it's like that would make let's make the exact same list then. You know what I mean? Like it's a
No,
little
but
tricky.
what I mean is that like what benefits Cynthia and Hilda is also what benefits Alistair and Gloria. So
I mean that's why
that
they
gap
were
is
they were
what I
higher
don't
before.
get.
That's why they were higher before as well. Remember?
yeah, but I guess what
Oh,
Robo is asking
I
is that
actually
what
don't
warrants the
remember that.
attachment.
Alice, not Gloria actually. You're right, but Alistair was at some point he was around there. I don't know if you recall. Just drop it over time because you're saying they have a similar self-sufficiency. Okay, cool. Olivia has a similar self-sufficiency.
Leave it outside that
If
range.
those people have the same sufficiency, yeah, you still have the kind of ease of use and range to compare. It's not only about
And
that.
like Hilda is easy to use, but she is a bit demanding because she has multiple buffs she wants. And Cynthia is like really demanding to me.
Cynthia is a support.
Like in terms of being demanding, Gloria and Alistair are less demanding than those two.
Like I agree that Cynthia's the most demanding there, but she also has like the best utility out of everyone there
Yeah,
with her Excel.
Cynthia is there not because of her run, she's there because of her extra utility, like how you still value some setters and director plus.
Yeah, but that's why I always compared her to Gloria because Gloria has
Yeah,
similar
but
utility.
I've always we had this argument. I disagree that I don't disagree with the comparison. I just say that Cynthia has it guaranteed, while Gloria needs one more.
You can run Head Start on Gloria, but
You can,
she needs.
but that's what I meant. Cynthia doesn't need that, and if you run Head Start on Gloria, really?
Yeah, the damage becomes a lot worse. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm running Head Start on my
But I don't
Gloria, but
mind,
like the
you know,
damage differential is big.
I don't mind aligning more. That's fine with me. But I'm just saying, like, this aspect of those two units is much better on Cynthia, much more reliable.
No, no, it's more reliable on Champion Stadium specifically. Like it is the main mode, but it is the only mode where Cynthia can get that reliably. Because the other modes you can't start at half HP.
Yeah, I mean it's the main mode we are ranking, but yeah, that's a fair point. But
Well, to be fair, Cynthia also has the okay, no, because Gloria has Sync Burst, so that's fine because Cynthia can do it multiple times, but it's RNG, it's a coin flip, but still, that's semi-valid in some cases.
mhm.
Yeah, and offensively, Gloria also has the sure crit.
Yeah, but the nuke ain't that good either. I'm not
I think a
saying
good
Cynthia's
question
good.
that, if I may, I
Cynthia's
think
nuke is bad too, so
No, I was saying that's what I was saying. Like both their nukes aren't that impressive in my opinion, so I wouldn't like.
my question now kind of becomes, what is the sufficiency to be considered better than raw power? Because
Exactly,
Lance is
exactly.
kind of there for like raw power, right? But like, what is the line where sufficiency is considered better than that power on its own?
Exactly.
I think that's kind of the tricky part.
And that's what I felt that we've agreed on that separation last time, and then suddenly everything needs to change. So I'm not sure.
I mean, I agree
Is
that Lance shouldn't move, but it's more about how do we build around him, because like
Yep.
yeah. Like I mentioned, I think Lance's lack of self-sufficiency is kind of overrated. He already gets +3 special attack by himself, and he doesn't demand any other multipliers. Like the others still need
That I think
paralysis.
that enlightens a big difference in our thing, because you often mention in terms of buffing profile, you often mention the multipliers, but it doesn't solve. For me, it's more, let's start with the basics, with this like +3 crit and the special buff. Multipliers is, you don't need it for all the others unit either. So
But +3 Lance
difficult.
hits harder than most people there too.
Yeah,
Like
I
Lance
mean,
has
Lance
the
is
raw
like
power
number
where
two
+3
technically,
is
so that's not
huge.
saying much because Lance is literally like, I don't know, number 2, number 3.
yeah,
He's
it's
above, he's
harder
underneath
than anyone,
Leon, so
but you do give him crit in the process. Otherwise, it doesn't
You
beat
do,
them.
but you also do it
Yeah.
for pretty much everyone there. You do it for Cynthia, you do it for Gloria, you probably do for Diana because she's choose
That's why
low at
Gloria
the end.
is lower. I do disagree that Cynthia can self buffer crit better than those.
I mean, you have to remember, like with half HP, her buffs also increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't increase to max. She still needs MPR at
I
very
mean, I'd
least.
rather run under +2 crit than +0, to
I
be
mean,
honest.
yeah, but +2, and it's also still a coin flip.
It is, but like that's why I say like she still needs more special attack than Gloria too, because Gloria does it faster and she can max without an MPR.
she needs to sing like +4, doesn't she?
What I don't like about Gloria and Cynthia comparison is that I see more Gloria as a raw let's eat unit, and Cynthia's more like, let's round up the team shenanigans and add some cheap damage on the side, stuff like that. I don't like the comparison actually. For me, you use them very differently. That's what I mean.
I personally don't like using Cynthia for just ramping in comparison to pretty much everyone else for ramping. That's why
Oh yeah, that's
when I
why I
play
did. I
Cynthia,
didn't say just
I
for
do
ramping.
focus it on Cynthia because I don't think she's good at
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
didn't say
At least
no.
I
You
think it's
you're making
a
me say stuff that I didn't say. I didn't say just for ramping. I did say for ramping and adding extra damage. I didn't say just
I
for ramping.
think this is a very clear perceptual difference, right?
Yep.
Because like the relevance of like the degree of how relevant the ramp is different between both of you, and how historically the association is also different. But before we kind of go around in circles, I think it's important to consider uh, that we will probably want to narrow the gap anyway. Just we're kind of thinking about how, because we are kind of considering debate of, okay, how much self-sufficiency is enough to supersede raw power in the case of Lance, which has no self-sufficiency at all. So we're kind of like looking at that in
Yeah, for
that
me, it's
vein.
where we cut the line, which is brings back to the initial question. But I feel we don't
The only
match.
precedent we have right now is the freaking overrated piece of shit, aka Leon. So let's kind of see what happens there. Can we follow that? What is the line? Because technically, Leon is again mainly DPS, like just like Lance's. What sits above him is things that have
Well,
both
if you
nuke and
look at it, one of the line might be some of the extra utility, like ramping, rain, turtle, and I mean there's some utility to
yeah,
it.
but
It's tricky.
technically, only Cynthia does that then. But then what about I guess the others have nukes as well, but
No, that's why I was
technically,
saying I wasn't arguing for one side or the other. I was just trying to go into your thought process. But I don't think it's.
also I think I should candy my Gloria and invest in her just to see if it really holds true. I might as well do that. So yeah, maybe I can give a
That
more
doesn't.
enlightened opinion.
Yeah, doesn't help right now.
Yeah,
I
and just
mean,
going back to what
if
I mentioned about lanes, like you can bring just crit for lanes because like a +1 lanes out damage pretty much everyone there. Like he will do more damage than Diantha, he will do more damage than Cynthia, he will do more damage than Hilda, he will do more damage than Gloria.
oh, I
I
mean that
think he
that
gets
that's fair.
pretty close to Wen at just +1. And I know for sure at +2, Lancey already out damages everyone there,
But
include Guzman.
what that means is you would probably argue that our line would be to actually have the lenses there.
Yeah, because I don't think his self-sufficient is that bad, just because his raw power makes him, with a small amount of buffs,
No,
match
I wasn't.
those with buffs.
I did understand that and agree. Like I mean, that's fine. I was just asking a question. Like you think our line should be there? You know, our line of ranking those three hyper units.
Personally, I do, but if you don't want to, I think you would just commit to putting both the lenses lower and approaching Gloria and Alistair slightly higher.
Yeah, which is what I'm not sure about.
Because I think
Well,
like
in the
they both
past,
benefit
right?
from the same reasons.
In the past, I have been vocal about like in the pre-buff Zinnia days. I've argued Lance sitting above Zinnia for the same reasons, in the sense that
Yeah.
okay, for literally the same composition of demand, Lance literally out damages any form of Zinnia at
I
-2,
mean, Zinnia has
irrespective of what.
high demand, and we still put her pretty high, you know, after all. So
Yeah, but she has. It's not just that anymore. She has the
no, I know.
the mixed
Let's
damage
not.
and flexibility
Yeah,
now.
let's. Sorry, let's not
Yeah,
go
I'm
back.
just trying to whip out reasons to whether or not we prefer again the raw damage line or whether we prefer the sufficiency line in this case.
The
Like,
thing
are
is,
you guys okay?
where I can agree with Warpalm, in a sense, is that their their sufficiency is not complete, and their reward is not that amazing. So I can, you know, get the argument that they would be the line would be the start of A, and
Yeah.
then you can more easily rearrange those being there, blah blah blah. But what do you do with hen then?
I
But he
think
puts.
and A and Gloria and Alistair go A minus, personally.
Something like this. And do we still lead with Siguzma?
Oh, I kind of forgot about him.
I kind of forget
I
about
think we do actually,
that.
because like
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
even relative to Hala, like he has a stronger nuke than Hala, and he can run Hammer Arm for like the same range now.
I think I
So
prefer just a minor nitpick, but I prefer say
Oh, his
Cynthia
nuke
to.
demands using dynamic punch because without first strike he nukes worse than Hala.
yeah, but Cynthia also gives confusion at a 50% rate, so it's not a big
Yeah.
Oh
deal
yeah,
anymore.
stops Mech 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we come back on where is the line, I think is self compared to what I pointed at them, his self-sufficiency is complete, and his
Yep.
reward is good. So
I
I would
think another
say
argument is that technically Lance Nuke isn't that bad. It's actually
yeah,
pretty good.
sure.
Like I think I was linking Robel to like a content creator. He was the guy who kind of played Turbo Lance Ram with like Lily and one shot everything.
I think
So
honestly my preferred order would be more something like this. Oh, I can't really. I think that would be something like this for me to align the stuff.
I'm thinking about it because I don't think there should be that big a gap between Diantha and Hilda specifically. Because technically Hilda is easier to use, doesn't have much constraints, and I don't think Dianfa deals that much more damage than Hilda to be considered that superior.
It's fine with me. I don't know. I don't know and don't care enough, I think. There.
Yes, that's fine. I mean, I do think, like, about Hilda, her damage is AoE. So there's that to consider.
Yeah, but she also has a nuke demand anyway, like similar to Dianta, she has a nuke demand, and size usually die enough for her to kind of just chip at that, so it's not a big deal to me. Because
Yeah.
Hilda can be played independently of the nuke, but I think her nuke is more often than not employed whenever you play her.
So that's fine, right? Because we did spend quite a lot of time on this. I would like that we. I think we did.
Still
Do you
thinking about
consider Hilda or Diantha a better nuker?
Hilda is a better nuker. Yeah, Hilda is a better nuker. Diantha needs too much work. It's easier to nuke with her now, but like it is easier to employ head start on Hilda as well, because like if you run a head start on Diantha, like and then like you want to nuke turn 2, you only get like what? -4 sometimes.
Oh, you mean running head start on Hilda? You mean like abusing
Yeah,
it, like
both of them have held
mate?
start, so like both of them have head start.
Yeah, but Diantha is on the grid, so you have to lose
Yeah,
some sync nodes.
yeah.
I think I want to
I guess
lead
that's that.
with N. And then have those tiers being the lighter ones. I want to shuffle around those up,
Is
etc.
N not considered a beneficiary though
He is.
of
He is. He did.
peak and
He
print?
did move up already. I mean,
Relative to what?
give me a second. If you put it here or here, he has the exact same place. Just to be
Yeah,
clear.
there's that.
So,
Yeah, I'm just thinking if like relative to Diantha, is he really, because I think the main
I
thing that
think
puts
is the arguments of the lances doesn't hold as much for N. For me,
why?
it does require more of his optimal comp than the lances. You know, when Robin was saying, "Hey, the lances, you know, at +1 they do X damage and blah blah blah." I think N still wants pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I guess
Lance at +2 also out them as a +6N, so he was on that
yeah.
group that
That's what I
hits.
meant. Yeah, it's not the they're not in the
Yeah, like,
same
and
Yeah, no,
boat
I'm
anymore.
supporting
yeah, and still
your
wants
Yeah, I
argument.
terrain.
know, I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dark.
I just said N still wants terrain, like, relative to the lands,
I would
like, to compete.
prefer him being like kind of, you know, boom.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's mostly my comparison to Diantha, because Diantha also technically isn't very free in terms of her composition. Whereas
She's not very free in terms of composition, but we are getting back to some sort of self-sufficiency argument as well.
when you do Hilda Diantha, then and I think I prefer that then.
I'm always confused about Deonta. I feel some days you
Yeah, it's
guys
very
love her, some
hard.
days you guys
Yeah,
hate her. I have no fucking
I know, it's
judgment
so
on her.
hard
I
to
don't
play.
care about this girl, but you're always confusing me. I don't know where to place her. It's like
So annoying, yeah. It's okay, wait.
I
Just
don't
wait for Ferizo to come
care
up and
about
we'll
her.
finally have a
Yeah,
comfortable spot, yeah.
that's fine. Are we kind of
Yeah,
fine
before
with
for me
that?
it was just the overall distribution that made the ranking Diantha harder. I think like
Yeah.
where she is now is very satisfying.
Okay. Okay, that's cool then.
Swatter is fine, yeah.
yeah, A minus is fine.
Nice. Well, that was tricky. Fuck this tier. Never do it
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
Fuck this. What happened there was mostly a Wally bump and a Sol Galileo bump.
Yeah.
Anyone
All
wants?
changes much.
I
Sorry,
mean,
go ahead.
having tried, you can go.
One of you.
Or you can go. All right, I guess I'll go.
Go ahead.
Having tried Solgaleo, I think he has a really nice rotation with Cynthia because Cynthia pretty much gives him everything he needs in one sync cycle
Agreed.
because of like the vacuum wave, and because Solgaleo has a 2-turn head cycle or 2-turn buff cycle, what happens is when you sync with Cynthia, it doesn't interfere with quad Q. And so then the
Galileo
only
also
issue,
gets buffed by Rosa. Let's not forget that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So like
a lot of
the
I
only
would
partners
thing,
as well.
personally put him there, I think.
That's fine, yeah.
Keep the
yeah,
kind of nukers somewhat with them. Wadi gets its slide buff. And then we end the tier this way.
yeah,
Okay,
That's fine.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
yeah.
I like
Did
Migleo
we
with like
lose
Lucian.
Rupalm, or he wanted to say something and then
I know.
maybe we lost him?
You
Oh.
guys just said what I said. Like I mentioned, I don't think Wally goes up much. Like
Yeah.
relative to where he is, I think he just stays there because he is kind of problematic. He with Cynthia. His buff is lacking with her, and he doesn't get to use the mixed damage. But Sogalio does use the mixed damage. He actually can run
So you
the
would even
physical move up with
argue
sensitive strike.
to align them
Actually,
more?
I would because I think in between fighting units like Bruno and Corina, the difference doesn't feel that pronounced anymore. Like if you play Cynthia with any of these, it feels almost the same. Like there are still
Yeah,
differences, but like in a field effect where you can't really employ the nuke unless you have ramp, which only Guzma and maybe Bear can do it. Like yeah, better alignment, better like that. Yeah.
So you would do that?
Put Sogaleo in the same. Yeah, I think that's better. But I think have Olivia join the
No.
subgroup, the red subgroup. No.
No, we did
yeah. I
have.
do think,
We already solved this part
Okay.
with
Okay.
those four, so I don't want to change them.
All right. Fair enough.
Especially,
Yeah. Okay.
let's remember, be fair to the goddess. She got a new partner that is pretty good for her, so yeah, let's
Okay.
let's stick with that.
Fair enough.
Actually, I would even argue to swap them like this.
Do it then. I don't mind.
Doesn't Elisa build actually gets better because paralysis synergy is cheaper
She
than ramming
does. She
speed?
does.
It is. Yeah.
She
But
does.
maintains
yeah,
inertia anyway. But like yeah.
Yeah. But
So
still,
it doesn't
the
really
build.
matter. But
No, it doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
build.
doesn't
Yeah.
change too much, but it's fine. Plus, what I mean, I just used her on the. Obviously, like the extreme battle is easy when you just run electric stuff, but I mean, you can just press electrify and clean the stage at the end. It's over.
Yeah.
While Hilda can't do that. Okay, fine. So subgroup wise, someone.
yeah. I think that's good.
Fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I think that's good.
In that case, I think the main one that we were kind of tricky about was Sophocles, that we didn't know if he should go much higher. Or... He
No,
did
you
I
move
think
keep
he's
him
a
there.
good
It's
lot,
actually.
fine.
lot. He did move a lot, but just
I do think Naomi is still better, but I think ending B is fine for him. Consider typing rarity and the
yeah. I feel like
oil drops.
last time I not disagree hardly, but I was like, when I look at the buffs and stuff, I'm like, Sophocles is pretty smooth, man.
Yeah,
I prefer Sophocles.
I do agree as well. I prefer Sophocles.
That's fine.
Then that's fine.
It's not that big difference. One thing I
Anyone
wanted to
wants
mention in the
to
tier was
tackle
drop by
Steven?
Steven
Yeah, what's
over
about?
Chris. I think I prefer Chris over Ice Steven because Ice
Mm,
Steven feels more aligned with something like Berg because they have
I
similar stunted demands.
I prefer those four grouped. Not that they're exactly similar, but
Yeah, but I don't think Steven is like better than any of them, if you ask me personally.
So I mean,
well,
like dropping
So
Steven to
would you?
yellow subgroup.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I was
if
gonna say.
you're
Would you put Steven below all of them?
if you're winning too, yes.
I personally am like I don't like Steven's utility has in rail. He does have flinch, which
Flinch and
is okay.
freeze potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's both
I
30%.
I'm sorry, Ryan, but I think I prefer it this way. I mean, I'm sorry, not like you
No, it's
caring
fine.
too
It's
much,
fine. I'm
but
just thinking about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I prefer it this way. But I can understand. Like, as long as hail is a relatively irrelevant weather, there will still be, kind of iced even
Because if you
before.
think about it, his range isn't even necessarily better than Sophocles,
No,
and
no, I
like,
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can like, and you can use hail, but like, what is abusing it? Like, his nuke sucks. You said it only for hail, but like,
yeah.
what is using it if not
Yeah,
yourself?
that's what I meant. Like, as long as it's
Like,
irrelevant.
he's more reliant on other people doing it for him now, but like, much of our apprehension comes because of his 30% rates rather than his raw offensive performance. But is it
Let's.
enough? Is the thing. I guess that's where we differ.
But we don't differ too much, to be honest. We all agree, like, yeah, whether it's above or below is somewhat fine. But I would, for now, wait on. Robin, add, did you have plan to include him in the talking points for the other list?
Steven,
Yeah,
I do. I would include him.
cool. Well, then I will wait on that. If everyone is fine with that, that will help.
Okay.
Good. This tier. We had some sort of argument above around those. What do we want to order? What do blah blah blah. Anyone wants to start?
I was mostly thinking about Bruno again. Not in the sense that he goes slower, but like I do want the gap between him and Corina to shorten in some degree, which is kind of goes back to uh
I did
whatchamacallit.
I did try to reduce the gap a little bit, but I still but maybe maybe I'm just wrong on the ranges and stuff. I mean no, it's not about the ranges, but I feel he's like a smoother partner to Cynthia than Corina is
I think
actually.
it's the same because like if you think about it, uh Bruno is a smoother partner, but Bruno has to MPR thrice, whereas like Corina has better speed, better gauge, and has like +5 in 2 turns.
Well, he doesn't
So
have
it not that
to
the gap.
NPR, but you're right. I wouldn't say he has to because you just run red as the last partner and you fill the
Yeah,
attack
but
gap. But
I do think dual striking with Corina is a lot easier than with Bruno when
that's
you're
true.
running
That's true.
Cynthia anyway.
That's true.
Not in the sense that I'd say Corina should say like side by side, but like there probably should be some kind of gap narrowing because like
Actually,
in the
not
context
bad
of
at.
zone, Corina isn't that much worse than Bruno anymore.
I agree, but
Yeah.
like I wouldn't really put Bruno any lower. I'd more put Karina higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly Corina higher, but yeah. And then there's Moraine, which
To be
is
honest,
also kind of annoying.
I highly dislike Moline. I'm sorry. That's all I
Yeah,
can
like do
say.
we drop him though? That's the thing. That's
I mean,
kind of
I
what I
actually
think.
wouldn't mind doing this, which I don't care about this
Are you
guy.
okay with that? I'm okay with that, technically.
I don't like
Like,
him.
is everyone else okay with it?
I don't know why we ranked him so high. I mean, we did because of the flinch, but I think he sucks.
No, we
I mentioned his
associated him
damage
with
is super
Seaball.
bad.
He's
We
bad.
associated
He
him
doesn't
mostly with
have any
Seaball. No, 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 no. We
self-sufficient.
mostly associated him with Seaball. I think the
No,
range is the same.
no, you did associate him
Okay,
with
I
Seabold.
did it. Okay,
Well, I
but
never
like,
associated him with Seabold. They are very different. But yeah, just here, I mean, you seem to agree, but his self-sufficiency is horrible. His damage, I don't know, but apparently you say he suck.
Terrible.
attack
His
gap.
flinch is cool, and as Dark mentioned, he's frail as fuck. I don't like him. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but I don't think he should stay that far from Seaball. But like, I'm not sure if the gap is like the new gap. Yes, I get it, but like the DPS gap is it that huge? I'm not sure.
Does anyone want
From
to
Seabold.
say something about comparing him to Seabold? Because I personally don't see anything that relates them.
I miss asking about Robot's ranges because they're both single target nukers with like some form of status and shitty self-sufficiency. So
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
holiday
you mean
Seabolt?
Holiday Siebold.
yeah,
Yeah,
how do you see both? Like the Scald, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Scald hits harder, just
But how
or the
much
same,
harder?
I mean, we
or the
can drop
same.
Siebold, by the way. It's not.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if we're dropping Moraine, we probably have to drop Seaboard as well. I'm just kind of thinking about.
I don't think we have to, but we can. I don't mind. Because remember, I wanted to start with ranking those first, and no one said anything about it. Which means
The order is already correct, just that it's mostly the stuff in between, I think.
No, Scald with Burn synergy is basically the same as Furious Brown Ironhead.
Yeah. So like it's literally just the nuke disparity, whereas like Moraine has like the better status. So
yeah. I mean, the nuke
Well,
does
Seabold
matter.
Nukes is far better.
Yeah,
So.
you do play him for the nuke, so it does matter. Like you don't really play
yeah.
Moraine for the nuke. Like
Yeah.
uh, Sibyl deletes LA bars. Moraine.
And also, Rain is far more accessible than Steelzone, who only has Marnie. And
Well,
I think I
technically,
would.
Marnie
I don't
is
Marnia
think I
looks
would
him
drop
anyway,
him
so
like
yeah.
below. Oh, actually, it's cool. He lines up with himself. See, easy. I don't know, but I think I would be okay with that order.
Yeah, I think that's like that's the lowest I'd put him personally.
Yeah.
And I do want them to be the cut afterward. And
wouldn't didn't we mean to talk about Sycamore too?
Okay.
yeah, I actually said go ahead with those people. I'm not sure how you want to rank them, etc., etc. So go ahead. Go ahead.
If you want Sycamore above Claire, I'm fine with that. I don't mind that.
Oh, I actually wanted Sycamore like below Gardenia.
Huh?
Yeah, you did mention that
Why?
the other day.
Or because of the range thing, yeah, but he's mostly there because he also has poison coverage, so I think that should be a plus because yeah, he deals less damage but not like that much lower.
No,
So
I
you
mean
kind of
it's just I think Gardenia is just far easier to support. Like Gardenia, you give her Sun and special attack. Sycamore, you have to deal with giving him speed, special attack, special defense, and
he can
poison.
ramp some of it himself, but yeah,
What about
he has acumen.
you? The join, but I still keep him above.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Would that be a fair middle ground, Rapalm?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You. I kind of like stuff more this way. I'm just a slightly bothered. I feel Civil should still lead the tier with
I don't mind,
more unit.
but again, like Moraine becomes a problem now.
No, no, I disagree.
Oh, Mulan's just
It's
bad.
not a problem. I don't see why Moraine is the same. That guy is a one press button. Moraine is just a flincher with bad damage. I, they have, they are not the same unit. I disagree. Moraine is a very bad
Without.
BP Xenia. For me,
Yeah,
that's who you compare him to. Moraine is a very bad BP Xenia.
Yeah, if you compare Mulan to Seabold, Mulan is Seabold without with what makes Seabold good.
Exactly. Okay.
I know I'm also associating because like inertia
No.
flinch hitter, like yeah, because no EX tag, yeah, the damage disparity is there.
Where do we put him though? Do we put him above them, below them, in the middle?
Before that, let me just bring up another off to unit. I wanted to bring up BP Karen. I think it's a
No, no,
bit
no, no,
harsh.
no. Bring up BP Karen later,
Okay.
please.
yeah,
That's fine. Let's proceed. See, I don't mind if she has to move up there. We can talk about her later. That's fine. She won't, but yeah.
Mm, I think looking at Flynn and Iris, like, do you? I think Iris in particular doesn't have a really good nuke, and the DPS, like, she's just there for the DPS, which
I think honestly, I would put him there.
above
yeah.
Looker,
Yeah, because
I'm not.
but let's not be too harsh on him. Flinch is still a very
Which
good
is still good.
utility asset,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't like
Yeah.
erase him from the game. But
Also, if I look at it now, is it really should we buff Iris as well because of what happened to Corina? Because Corina has sit underneath Iris for so long, and like the zone
Yeah, to me,
really.
that's my problem with when news on com, we tend to buff stuff, blah blah blah, and then it's like the news on has come, and it's like we ignore that the Dragon's Dome still exists for Iris.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I mean, I'm actually agreeing with you. It's like kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I don't like Bruno very much. Like I prefer both Iris and Corina over Bruno because I don't find Bruno Nuke to be good personally.
No, wait, yeah, it's not that good. I agree.
I think what you do, if because we're not this is like the most we're extending a tier, right? Like, did we not extend it with like Volkner at the back? Did we
Yeah, yeah,
actually?
yeah. It is extended. Plus, again, I don't care about extended tier if we feel that's
And just put Iris at the end of B minus. Then I think
yeah, but what becomes
Well, Flint
Flint?
then.
Flint is kind of weird because Flint has the accuracy problem. He has the grid problem as well, but he
Flint also has mixed damage.
Aren't we
not.
going back to the old DPS is better than Nuke, you know?
Yeah, it's
No,
kind of a funny
yeah,
thing.
I mean, it's not that way. It's we are getting back to where we put the line, which is fine. We have to revise this line every now and then.
Or do we drop Bruno
Maybe
instead? Because I
Bruno.
think it's Bruno's the thing that we're kind of aligning it to, right? Maybe we should drop
Yeah,
Bruno instead of buffing everything else.
yeah. I never
Maybe
got
that's what.
why Bruno was so high because like I'm rechecking his Nuke. His Nuke is the same as Iris too
I mean,
because
we don't
Iris
like
has
him
Dragon Zone.
for the nuke. We like him for the kind of buffing profile damage. It's mostly Dark and I, if I'm fair.
Yeah.
We kind of like
Iris
him.
has a similar buffing in profile too.
Yeah, no, I mean, Iris. Please, guys, remember Iris was only there because you guys kept trashing on her. I was always high on Iris, so I'm sorry, but I'm cool with Iris bumping.
I mainly put Iris lower because I also thought that Corina was better, so I guess
Oh, okay.
Bruno just messes up everyone.
Well, look at
Wait,
it.
wait, wait, wait. So now we're going back to the whole DPS versus nuke thing again. Like, do we
No,
think
we are.
about the rotation or we?
Yeah, we're getting back to it. Sure, but I just made a proposal on screen.
That's what I'm thinking about. Like again, like Corina and Cole were underneath, and I was mostly proposing it because I wanted Corina to align with Bruno. But does that mean that we mostly drop Bruno from what it used to be rather than what we're doing right
No, that's
now?
fine.
Like, is that better?
You and Ropam said, hey, actually that guy isn't that good. He was if he was too
Can you put
high.
everything back first before this? Like, as in back when Corina and Iris and Corina were still underneath. Can you do that first?
Yes, I can click on that button.
Okay, so you drop Bruno and Mullane and buff. I think you put Guzma to Seabold in B minus and put the rest in C plus. I think that's how I see it.
No,
Yeah.
I mean that's not what happened.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened.
No, no, I mean like you end B minus with Guzma, Nate, and Seabold, and then you do that. Yeah, you kind of align.
I'm fine with that.
Fair enough.
What do you think, Robel?
I'm fine with either. I think that's just more consistent with what we had before, so
Yeah, because we were talking about the whole Guzma Lusamine gap anyway, and
Yeah, I
technically,
remember at one point the list was cutting there with the sync nuclears, and we had Lusamin kind of cutting them because that comparison was relatively relevant. So It's
Yeah, Lusamine is where we start to get both DPS and nuke,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, but those guys only have the DPS, so it's fair, no?
I think
I
it's
think I
fair.
like Rand's proposal actually.
Yeah, because like technically like Guzman, Nate, and Seaboard have sufficiency while like they have sufficiency and scaling while Caitlyn, Moline and Luca don't have that. Like not yet at least. Like so I guess that's the good distinction because we value sufficiency. Everything up to a point has sufficiency except Caitlyn and Cole. So I think that's a good distinction.
Cool. All right.
yeah, I think it makes sense.
I would probably, because remember she was higher before. I would
Do wait,
probably
wait, wait.
end this tier with her. But yeah, you
Yeah, I
wanted to
would as
talk
well.
about Karen.
Karen.
You
Also,
can
do
talk
not
about Karen.
detach Corina and Bruno by subgroup. I don't think she's that much better to be considered detached by subgroup. I think you lead with
True.
Iris, then
No, I think
Corina, Bruno.
Ropon did convince me. Her synergy with Cynthia is actually better than Bruno.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's.
Like,
I mean, I can
since you
change my
like
mind.
power
That's
reserves,
fine.
since you
but we
like
don't.
Power Reserves 5 Corina hits hella hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're okay with that, yeah.
No, I mean,
I mean,
I'm fine with
one
that.
thing I realized though is that with Cynthia in particular, it's really hard to get PR range, even with
True.
low HP, because the defenses and the freaking master passive make it so annoying.
Well, I mean, you can
Yeah.
make your target and then take one hit and wait. What do you do next? I mean, you can use one of the endure girl or a
Yeah.
taunter or whatever. It's not
I
double
just use
DPS, but if
Phoebe.
you want to use PR Corina, you're probably giving up on double DPS, right?
Yeah, but
Pretty
instead, but
much.
yeah, but in exchange, she
That's not
freaking
the
just
reason
destroys
why
everything.
Corina is there. Let's not. Corina is not there because PR. It's just
Yeah.
it exists.
Okay.
But I think I prefer this order. I think Corina faster self attack buffs and complementing with Cynthia slight crit.
But what about Iris then?
Works
Do you
better.
consider her better than Iris? I don't really think
No, it's
so, but
not better than Iris, but
I just swap them.
Is Iris in zone better than
Yes, yes, I'm pretty
Corina
sure she does.
in zone? That's
Yeah,
fine.
it is. Like because a lot of Corina's knowledge is from the post mega, which you can't realistically get with
Okay,
Cynthia.
okay,
But yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's better.
That's fine.
Okay,
So
glad we sorted that out. Holy
uh,
god, it's
yeah,
freaking already like more than 2 hours and we're
yeah,
still in DD.
fucking
Holy
damage
shit.
dealer. I hate this list always. That's fine. We're almost there, and we have shit ton of stuff to do after. But hey,
It's a lot longer than this, I'm gonna tell you that.
no, no, because I will shut you down if need be.
Wow.
No, just kidding, just kidding. Let's move on. So Dark and I want to move this girl here, and you want to talk about Karen. So go ahead, talk about Karen, please.
Alright, so we initially associated Sophocles with Karen, and yes,
No, you
Sophocles
did.
both hits. Yeah, I did. Okay, I need to stop saying we.
Yes.
Fuck off. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
So I initially associated Sophocles with Karen, and testing her again and checking the ranges, I don't think they deserve to be that far apart. So I think maybe you put a like I think I think behind Flynn or so. I think that's more indicative because she actually hits like a truck still. She hits harder than everything in C plus DPS wise with zone. And her recoil isn't that bad. It's mostly her self setup speed that you particularly hated.
Yep.
But yeah.
I do hate her. That's why, I don't think there should be a comparison, particularly with. I mean, comparing her to this guy is just because, oh, they have this recoil, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
They have recoil and
Yeah,
the regen thing, but even
yeah,
their multipliers are the
even
same. But yeah,
profiles.
just put a
I mean,
like again
she,
underneath Flint.
she could. Oh, that's exactly what I was about to do. I mean, she could be there for me.
Yeah, perfect.
That's fine.
That's enough. Yeah, perfect.
And where are you guys fine with Lyra?
And C plus with her, but I do think
And I think I don't know.
I mean, you can lead sweep plus with her is fine because the similar deal with
Actually, she
Hapu is
can
that
do mixed damage with player often. The
Yeah.
thing is special.
you can do that, I suppose.
I think she was more aligned before, at least. She was more aligned.
Yeah, she was more aligned with
me.
Caitlyn before.
Yeah.
But do you want to put her above the rest? I think you can because of the sleep anyway. But
Yeah.
I guess it's not a. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Uh,
Well, C becomes small, but I think it's fine there. I suppose,
no, it's
unless you
fine.
want to shrink.
I mean, you could
I
move
mean,
Looker down, I guess.
I could, yeah.
Or Mullane.
Actually, I think
Move Mullane down.
Mullane. I
Yeah.
think both are. I don't know.
I don't think I want to detach Luca from Ken, but I can see Mullane doing it.
No, I think I prefer this way because those.
Yeah, it's fine, I guess, then.
I
Like,
can
it's not
I
a
can
big deal.
I can revise that later and push by you when we
yeah.
agree on the lock. I think the order, somewhat subgrouping matters more for now.
Yeah.
Ropan, do you want to start on Apu? I think she's. You said you think she sucks, and I agree.
She sucks, but I also think Kenzie and May sucks. Maybe Ethan, I think, is better than Kenzie and May. Like, May's problem is that she's very super effect reliant. Like, she's good on Water Week and very,
Actual
very
efficiency
bad.
is better. Let's not forget that. Ethan has more damage than everything there, but it's less self-sufficient. And the eruption thing is also kind of like why we put him low in the first place because of the variance. But it's really up to you. I think it's mostly Morty that fixed that. But yeah.
Yeah, Morty fixes a lot of his multipliers. I will say, like, for
Did we lose someone? Hello.
I got cut off. I got cut off.
Oh.
For LA, he has crit focus, so like, you can sync with him, like in a budget
And
comp.
also it's this kind of meme tank build as well that
Yeah, there's the
unironically
meme tank
works.
build that's evasion based.
You can buff him if you
Okay,
want. I don't
let's
mind.
try to run them more around.
I mean, I prefer. I mean, you can bump Ethan ahead.
Are people
Your
keep cutting?
audio.
People keep cutting. What the fuck? What's happening, guys? Help!
Spoken too long. But yeah, can I go first, or you guys wanna?
Yeah, go ahead. You
Go,
were
go.
talking, but you did cut. That's
All
right.
right. So, like I was saying, I think you guys can buff Ethan ahead of like Candice and May because I prefer Candice to be in the same subgroup with Price anyway because they don't feel much different. I think Price is just better compositionally.
Yeah, price is
Whereas
better
like
compositionally.
while Candice is like standalone, she's better, but like her comps are like really bad. Whereas like Price at least still has like Leon and Getsis to play with. Like Hale is just not a very dominant archetype right now. Freeze is better than Hale. That says a lot.
So did I just literally ask you guys about Hapu and you talk about all the other units, but not
Except
about
Hapu.
Hapu? Yeah, that's what happened.
No, I think Hapu is bad, but I could see her there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Hapu is bad, but not as bad as the other four things to me. I think she can lead C comfortably.
So you were saying something like this,
I
this.
Yeah.
think it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer this.
And then you do a subgroup split. Yeah.
I think I don't care too much at this point, and that's fine. I think technically I would just do that personally. I don't think there's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
that high of
That's
a
fair.
difference to separate them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe if I feel like this needs a little, maybe I will kind of re-cut down the, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I just
Like
adjusted accordingly.
it gives me some open room for that. Actually, let's do it visually, just to see, because I think if I bring one or the other down, I would bring the two.
Well, another thing that I thought about is that, like, I don't think Marnie separates herself from Mina and
I think
or the
Marnie
other
is
three.
worse than Mina, in fact.
I can
And, like,
see
if
that.
you group
Yeah, that's
everyone
fine.
there, you can kind of like move all those units up and remove D.
Or we move
If you
You want
keep
to do
Looker
Yeah, yeah.
and Mulaney up,
I mean, is there enough space?
I don't know.
it
I think
extends the tier just
it's one
barely.
short.
Yeah.
No. Plus, they are really, to be honest, they're
Yeah, they're just
really,
really
really
bad.
terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and I think since we are overloading the tier, we are gonna need back a new tier at some point, anyways. But yeah, I would probably do something like this and kind of
Yeah, just
rearrange
adjust it
a bit
accordingly. Yeah.
the groups. I'm just not sure if I think I want these two for me are better, and I would probably
And then make them orange, yeah. And then Price and Candace are yellow.
This should be
and this.
swap Mina with Marnie. I really think Marnie's just that bad. Like the poor girl is just. No, not saying
Yeah,
she could swap them as
I
well.
think the
But
one thing that it's like I think Marnie is bad, and I think
She
Mina
scales
is,
off accuracy
and
at
I
the
think
stat part.
Mina is atrocious as well. So I'm sorry, but I'm not swapping them.
Mina single targeted scales easier. Like look at her freaking sync.
Yeah, but
And you'll
at least
understand why she's
that
bad.
girl can activate your poison sheet on your accuracy thing if you want. That's something. That girl doesn't. Yeah, sure, attack drop.
Why
Cool.
she has like on a roll, she had charm herself, she has better self
Yeah, I mean,
not better, like she has it there, but yeah, you get what I mean.
let me
Like, yeah.
swap them if you want. I just
Yeah, just swap them. I
think
just
they all suck, honestly.
do you want to keep the separation with Bugsy and Brock?
I think
yes.
yes, but I'm not sure. I think yes, personally.
I don't mind the way it's just like
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
unusable pairs there.
yeah. Yeah, I think it could be like on your list like blank stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
But might as well, kind of try to give
It's
that
just a
info.
draft. We can just refine it as the part 2 comes and we have better
Yeah,
opinions on these
yeah, that's
units.
fine. I'll check on it, but I think that's fine this way. Fucking damage
It's been more
dealers.
than 2 hours, man. And we've only done like utility and DD when I thought it was gonna be short. And then
I told
hybrid's
you
gonna be even
it
longer.
wasn't gonna be short. Okay. Before we move on, we did quite a lot of things that we weren't really expecting. I will obviously review ran by you, blah blah blah, before anything goes live. Are we done for now with this shitty list?
For now, I think we are, yeah.
All good?
Yep.
Hybrid.
Do you guys think Maxi is better than Gloria and May?
Yes.
I don't particularly think so. That's why it's a talking point. I think, but I think I prefer.
I think
May
SS
than
May is
all of them.
overrated, but that's just me.
Yeah, and I prefer her
I'm
than
already
anyone else.
barely tolerating that the fact that she's above Raihan, but I already said I wouldn't talk about it anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't want to, but I mean, I just don't understand why you think she's overrated. Plus, that doesn't stop using those words. That doesn't mean anything. She's overrated. That who are you talking about? Who is overrating? We don't care. Just say where you think she should be. That's more constructive.
I think she should be underneath
Actually,
Marnie at best. That's
Yeah,
just how I see
yeah.
it. No lower than that, but yeah.
I just don't understand why. Is what I mean. Like for me, the team-wide crit buff, guaranteed sync accel, death drops, good nuke, decent damage. What do you want more for a hybrid unit?
Yeah, but like Marnie does those things except for 3. Well,
No,
not the crit, but like.
she doesn't do the no. No,
And like
she
they're both
doesn't.
mega reliant.
She
Marnie
doesn't.
gives pro. What do you mean? Like
Uh
Marnie has Unfeeble 3 that she can proc twice. She
oh,
has Team Shop Entry that she can proc twice.
I think
so
what's the
They're both mega
point
Marnie
of
reliant
has
anyway.
plus
acceleration?
3 crit and minus 3 sync cooldown now, and infinite defense drop. I didn't know.
I mean, she does -6 way faster than May ever will. She has 2 head starts, up to 2, but 1 in the grid, 1 in LS. And the only thing I think May is better at is damage and speed. That's just me.
Oh yeah, she has Go Jaxel. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. And team speed. Yep.
Yeah, I just don't think they should be detached. Is my point. But yeah,
I heavily think they should.
well, to each their
Detached-
own. Like I
I want
said,
detached
not
from Gloria.
gonna.
Like, I think Marnie is fine where she is, and where May is fine.
Yeah, we're talking about Maxi, but my justification about Maxi sitting high is because I don't see at least SS May sitting above Maxi. That's
Yeah,
just
but
me.
that becomes a problem. So you can't give an accurate thought about Maxi because you disagree with this May. So that's hard for us to get an accurate opinion from you, right?
Well, diversity has always mattered more to me than the whole linear sort of brute strength thing, which I think May is more characterized by. I mean, I prefer Raihan over May as well because Raihan shares
What?
similarities with Maxi. Again,
What?
you want to talk about Maxi, this is kind of how I approach it, but you know.
Okay, but you said you prefer flexibility than a brute force unit, a linear unit, and you
Yeah.
feel SS May is less flexible and Maxi is less linear?
Kind of, yeah.
I strongly disagree. Okay, fair enough. Let's not. Okay, we both disagree about SSMA. That's fair enough. Ropan, you wanted to talk about Maxi and where to place him.
Oh yeah, I brought him up more because the tier list group also brought him up. Like I agree, I think Maxi is better than May, but Gloria, I'm more divided.
If it was just me, I would personally put him there. Personally.
The argument exists that since you drop Raihan, you can drop Maxi for the same reason. So I think for consistency's sake, it's accurate, even though it's not something I would agree with, but okay.
No, I think Gloria like is most of the time just better May, and I think that gives her an argument for over Maxi. But May, I think I still prefer Maxi.
Okay, Dark. What about you?
I think I'm in the same group where I prefer Gloria over Maxi, but not May.
Then that's easy.
Yeah.
Cool. So since we did kind of cut off, I start with Annie Ryan despite my whole amazing love for him. I think it's starting to get a bit tricky to justify him
Fix him.
Uber. And I just went with the zone units and those two guys.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think if there is any discussion, I think it's just between the psychic setters to be closer to the zone unit,
Mhm.
or just keeping the SPDF droppers.
I think they are. I think they are better in my opinion, but well, compositionally, like obviously, Psychic team are so good. I think it becomes tricky because how much of the seed setters you bring, because then for me BD is always lower than classic Elisa. So do you bring also them up or? And I disagree. Bianca would be a better unique than those two. So you know what I mean. I'm not sure how you would approach this. So
I think May is the one that has a stronger argument. That's
I
why she's separate after
yeah,
all.
I did agree with that. I know Ryan is upset about that, but
Yes.
so I think the fair middle ground is just to not waste too much time and accept this middle ground maybe is fine.
Yeah, the main problem is that May just keeps getting units that support her,
I agree.
despite
I
her
agree.
base kit
I agree, but
alone
I don't
being
want us
samey.
to redo the whole
I disagree with
conversation.
that.
Yeah, and that's fine. You disagree. We are two agreeing. I'm not sure about Dark's opinion, but
What say you about this, Doc, actually?
Fine with the way it currently is.
see,
Personally.
easy.
Yeah, just keep it as it is.
I did note Masked Royal there. Not that I really want to move him, but I just wanted to open thoughts for anyone because maybe he's
Yeah, the
starting
question
to.
becomes if you want to move him, where do you move him underneath? Because I don't think he moves ahead of like anything else up there. But is there an argument to move him underneath something?
Yeah, I was more considering moving down rather than up. I mean, I'm not considering
Yeah,
anything personally. I like him where he is, but you know, if anyone wants to drop him, it's your time, I suppose.
that was also a point that I was asked to bring to
Yeah,
the tier
that's
list group.
yeah. I saw Renner asking about that, so
What?
I kind of
What point?
no, Masked Royal.
Massacre Royale going down.
Yeah, but down where?
No,
Down is easy, but like how far down?
if no one wants to drop him down, let's move on. I'm just opening the
The
question,
only reason I drop him down is to align him more with Lucian, but
which
objectively he
isn't an
shouldn't.
argument that is
Yeah,
enough for me.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So don't touch him for now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just opening it. Or like, maybe do you guys want him to drop below her? No, I mean, I don't care.
I mean, for now, like if you want to drop him, I think below Serena is fine.
Yeah, but
But that's about it.
I don't necessarily want to drop him. It's gonna be
I
a
don't
Yeah.
think
decision
Serena
point
is.
on the other group, so let's. I will check on that. I did note the two deoxys, but before that, I just wanted to reassess again. What's your preference between Courtney and Ingo?
Courtney is a better individual unit. Ingo is more reliant on foreign synergy.
That's my
Yeah.
personal opinion as well.
That's
Like
mine
in a
as well.
sense that in a context where you would use Courtney, she feels more useless but that's mostly because her partners are
Yeah,
just that much more broken.
but if I
Whereas Ingo
use
feels more
those
useful
as a
because
single unit, Courtney has anything she needs to do.
but even individually her sufficiency is better. She has
Yeah,
tank capacity.
that's what I meant.
Only flaw is that it's AoE. So yeah, just
Okay,
solidly above Ingo, but not enough to detach her.
then
That's
let's
just how I see it.
move on. About the Stevens, I do put speed above normal personally now, but they're in the same subgroup. Does anyone want to either separate them, swap them, put one in D tier, put one in, I don't know, whatever?
No, if anything, they could maybe move up, but I'm fine with the way it is. I think his speed above normal is fine.
Cool.
I don't like ESS Leaf. I don't think she's on the same
Yeah,
level as them.
yeah.
But
Technically, she could be like a green subgroup or something. That's
yeah,
what you mean. Yeah,
Let's
that's
talk about that later as we go into A because that's where the big stuff is.
the big stuff for you. Don't make your, but I guess go ahead with your 2-hour essay on this part of the list because
Okie dokie. So the first things I want to talk about are Karen, Steven, and Lysander, as in base Steven. So I want Ropa to help me out a bit with calcs and comparison. So first things first, I think a detachment between Karen and Steven is not that justified when you consider that the nuke strength is the same, and the fact that they both have 60% flinch from their main free bar moves now, and they're both sync reliant. Like Steven can play without sync, but more often than not, the sync is what his main quality is. So like they're both quote unquote sync reliant.
isn't
And
Karen's nuke much better than his? Just asking, not.
no, if no.
yeah,
If you do the damage calcs, Ropov, do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the same range mostly because Marnie exists. Whereas if you run like 4 bar with like Devastation, Dark Zone, and Flux, it still is like almost the same because of the reduced mega damage and whatnot.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
If you include Marnie, you will get the defense drop automatically. So it does get closer. Without the defense drops, it depends on if you run 6 gauges or 4 gauges. 4 gauges kind of still is stronger, but it's not
Not
a
that much
huge
stronger, yeah.
Let's
difference.
remove zone from both. What happens?
Karen still beats with 4 gauges, but it's not an insane difference. With 6 gauges, Karen does nuke considerably harder than him.
Uh, I think to answer quickly, Ryan, just on the first thought, I think Karen has more utility sides than Steven, personally.
Yeah, like his utility is matched now, but Steven is mostly quote unquote durability, right? As
Yeah,
in the
which I don't
whole.
think is
Yeah, like
insanely
Steven.
relevant. That's my problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Steven's.
which leads to my one.
Go ahead,
I was just
someone.
gonna say Steven's utility is more selfish.
Yeah,
Whereas,
which kind of
Agreed.
like which leads to my next point, right? So like, do you put the argument then that she should be above Lysander as well? Because the whole argument that if the defensive utility is not relevant anymore, you can kind of put Lysander underneath her as well,
Yeah,
right?
but Lysander does it better and also provide sync acceleration in the process.
also his
And as
durability isn't consistent with sync.
yeah, and as type coverage. And no,
Because
I think he's better.
previously, I think Ropal also talked about wanting.
I think our audio got cut again.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. So I think Ropa mentioned some people in the group wanting Karen higher than Lysander, which I'm not against, but I'm kind of considering that because also correct me if I'm wrong again about this, Ropal. I think Lysander actually has higher DPS than a nuke-based Karen, assuming he runs both Harry and HP advantage. Yeah.
It depends more on what are you running on Karen. Like, are you running double fighting? Because
Yeah,
Karen
you're
is
running
really
double
hard to
fighting. Yeah.
support.
Yeah, you're running double.
You're cutting
It got
again.
cut off again.
Lysander
Yeah.
is way more easy to fit in a team than Karen. Like if you want to optimize Karen, it's much more
Yeah.
requirements than
Because she's her
Lysander.
comb's all more stunted.
Yeah, like Karen peaks really high, but I can't really think a team that max devastation, Karen's buffs, and double fighting all at the same time.
Yeah, she can only run dirty fighting with the nuke build, is my point. So like, but even if you did happen to run both dirty and foul fighting, like I don't know, something like Skyla plus uh Cyrus or whatever the hell, I'm pretty sure Lysander still hits harder. I just want to verify that claim because that's what I got. And
Yeah,
like Lysander only needs
it's
Skyla
stronger
to
than
Yeah,
do it.
but
Lysander.
I'm sorry, Ryan. It's not too. But even if the answer is yes or no, for me that doesn't change that I view Lysander as a better unit, regardless.
You want to close the gap is the thing. Is it
Uh,
not necessary?
the gap is pretty small, but we can move back Palantine Serena up if you want that. I'm just
Yeah,
throwing it.
because I'm kind of thinking about that anyway, because like surrounding appraisal on Lysander is way lower than mine historically. So if you want to lower him because of that, I don't mind that much anymore.
I mean, it's not
Even if
only
it
you. I'm high on Lysander. Remember, it's not just a you thing. But
I mean, I like Lysander too. I just don't like him like insanely going in multiple tiers. But
yeah, I think my personal order,
what's your personal order? You can go
my
ahead.
personal order is this, and I very, 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 very much struggle ranking those two, but probably this. So the exact opposite, basically. And then
Mm,
probably no move to those. Argument for Karen and Sydney swapping, which actually makes your two things super aligned. But I prefer Sydney, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sydney's good.
I think shit. I think I do prefer Lysander to Marnie.
Lysander
yeah,
is at
that's
this
my
point.
order.
Yeah, I think at this
Serena,
point
Lysander, and
Lysander
mine.
is better than Marnie because
Yeah, I didn't
Marnie's
mention.
damage is too low. Except the nuke, yeah. But the damage is too
I
low.
mean,
Her tanking isn't as good as Lysander's as well. But
let's be simple. If you guys can't really come to a consensus, I might as well just go with my order, right?
I mean, your order is pretty much my order as
That
well.
order.
So
Okay,
That's my own order too.
yeah,
then that's cool.
yeah.
I prefer the old one. But okay,
I know.
fine.
Yeah, sorry, you
But
just brought up something that made you lost the battle that you won in the past. That's ironic.
trying to be objective, okay.
No,
But yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
And Steven doesn't move as a result either. Like
I mean, Steven's
he can move.
higher.
He can move for me. I don't mind. But I don't think he moved. I mean, we can tackle him later because I don't think he moved there or something. I think he moved at
Yeah.
best high in his tier.
Okay.
I think Ryan wanted to drop Volkner too, so if you want
Yes,
to
yes,
mix
yes.
that.
I want to drop both Iris and Volkner, but yeah, it's
Okay,
kind of a
well,
tricky
since you're
conversation.
mentioning it, I did want to. I know I did ask Ropalm to add it in his discussion point because I'm very struggling to understand people's thoughts on Iris. Just to start with, I kind of like her. I don't think she has any particular compositional value, but she can feel a bit of everything, so I kind of like her. But I, my main question is, I know Ryan's answer, but do you think she should be above the zone Tyrion Weather guys below her or below them? Basically, is my question, I would say.
As a rule of thumb, I prefer Bertha over both for the moment, but I'm open to see them up above Nessa. That's what I think.
No, I was just talking about Iris, not Volkner.
I know I prefer Bertha over both Iris and Volkner, but I can
D'accord.
see them
Okay.
both over.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I didn't mention Volkner anyways. But I already knew your thoughts, so I mostly wanted to ask Dark and Europal.
Like I mentioned before, I was surprised by playing Bertha in practice, so I do prefer her. And I'm not a fan of Iris either.
Okay.
I don't know if she needs to drop below Nessa, because like Nessa is decent as an individual unit. It's
Mhm.
just that the field effect she provided is inferior to the others.
That's fair. I was kind of associating them also because, well, first of all, to acknowledge Ryan's higher appraisal on her, but also I think they somewhat compare in that sense. But I agree, the weather itself is strictly inferior, so I wouldn't mind a separation. Um,
Yeah, it's mostly the weather in the sense that the way I see Nessa and Volkner is that Volkner has the better weather, Nessa is better at everything else. That's just how I see it.
I do still prefer Volkner to Bertha personally.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I mean
Like for
I'm an electric trainer, Ryan. Remember?
Shame.
No, but
I
I
do
mean,
think Bertha has personally felt like securely better. I think I understand it in terms of like, doing a lot of things, but I have come to question the efficiency of his offensive builds in particular, which I had a conversation with Dark about. In that mostly it was the Thunderfang builds that were kind of decent in offense, but I'm not
yeah,
sure
but I
how
think
powerful they
I
were.
don't think they're just decent. I think the Thunderfang builds are just LA godness, not godness,
yeah,
but you know what
exactly.
I mean. Like
That's what I told Rion.
it just they are perfectly fits the content.
Yeah, like I told Rion about that. Like he has crit focus, and then with his flinch and his like natural bulk, he's basically both the tank and the DPS for whatever comp you run him in. Is what I feel. Like with his healing.
And he's pretty often very cohesive with the. I mean, no, there is red, obviously, but he's relatively cohesive with the teams you want to play in. While Bertha is
Yeah,
a bit more forced. She does perform well, but she's a bit more forced, like when you have Ingo there.
yeah. And
Yeah,
also
but
as like a weather
here's the
terrain is
thing: the outclassed
set
argument
for.
applies just as much to Volkner as it does to the Bertha,
No,
because like
because I feel that Volkner and Red pair together for a cohesive team, while Bertha and Ingo is pretty much why do I run those two together,
You
personally.
like Volkner with red?
Yeah, why wouldn't you like it? I mean, yeah, in the
it
context of,
feels
Yeah,
way more forced to me if you run Volkner with Red
I
Bertha.
mean,
It
if you
just
don't
feels.
have any electric striker, you might as well.
Why wouldn't you? You have like think freaking how you have like
Yeah, so why would
So
you? Okay,
Nicholas is
okay,
free
which
now.
means why would you use Bertha?
her nuke actually hurts, unlike freaking Volkner. She without any attack buffs at all, she nukes harder than Volkner. Like that's kind of pretty big.
Okay, that's fair. Do we want to spend 15 minutes on a subgroup arrangement between Volkner and Bertha? we just vote or something?
I mean, I'm
guess
fine with Volkner above that, although I do prefer Bertha.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a hill I'll die on, but fair enough.
Dark?
Because
I mean, I prefer Volkner over Hilda or Bertha as well, but I haven't tried Bertha yet,
Two,
so I want to try
two
her.
versus two. I decide it's fine. I don't care. It's a subgroup, right?
Yeah, Bertha is a unit that I think it feels better on practice than on paper.
Yeah, which is funny because Ryan and I kind of got the opposite sentiment. But it's fine. It's fine.
I thought Ryan liked it when he played her,
Oh,
at least
I
compared.
okay. Sorry,
no,
my
no, like before I got the dupes, I thought it was like, okay, it kind of feels cool, but like when you play it, does it really feel that cohesive? But when you play it, it actually feels a lot different because like she can kill me without attack buffs, and like, whoa, you actually have reason to use this shit now, rather than just for like, the field effects that
I
most
mean,
people don't really use.
for me, there's
But
obviously
like for
like
me, prior to that, I wanted like Bertha, Nessa, and then Wagner because I think individually the utility they provide is better than Wagner's, but I guess Wagner is more
I think I can't
quote
really
unquote
put
cohesive.
aside kind of, is it fun for me to play when, you say, does it provide what you expect of a unit or not? Like, it's an old girl with an Hippodon, and I don't care. She doesn't do
Yeah.
much, while Volkner flinches, paralyzed, electric stuff. I like better. That's probably it. I'm sorry, that is probably biased. It's
To
fine.
each their own. We can just revisit it later.
Yeah. I mean, at least we kind of agree that we somewhat want a subgroup like this. Do someone
Yeah.
want Karen above Sydney?
I think currently it's fine.
Keep it as it is for the moment. We can adjust it later.
Cool.
Yeah, I think for this, Sydney's versatility overweighted.
Yeah, I kind
But
of
Sydney is
agree.
not even versatile. He's kind of a one-trick pony. Just like
Yeah, actually, it's not really
With
versatility. It's like
versatility, you can
it's
run him
splashable.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's splashable, but actually, he just does what he does. But
Yeah,
One
but he
he
more
does it
thing.
doesn't do
well.
much, but
He does it well, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he does it well, but like, okay, I won't delve too deep because I'll go on a tangent.
Okay, then let's not. That's fine. We
Now
can
that we
always.
settle it, Steven stays there or Steven goes up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is kind
Steven.
of what we're talking about. Do we lead Steven with, because I think before we talk Steven, can we talk Iris first? Because that's I think the unit that most people have reservations on and have more expectation on as well. So like, where do we put the freaking
Well, she was.
Iris?
I think when she leads A minus, that's somewhat comfortable for me. I don't go that much below. Uh,
I mean, I would like to see her below Nessa, but I know that most people won't agree with that.
yeah.
But yeah.
She was below, to be fair, but I feel we can, at some point, we can't really ignore, as Roban rightfully mentioned, that the actual weather she brings, for now, is.
Yeah, the weather she brings is yes, but I don't see her as like I bring hail. No, I see her as like
No, no, no,
okay,
no,
I
no,
have a
no, 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 no.
60% flinch. I have pep rally and I have great gauge. My damage is fine. My self sufficiency is great, and I can give a middle finger to all physical attacks reliably. I
Hmm.
don't see her for a hail unit. I see
No,
her for everything else she brings.
that's not what we said. We just said that it's an inherent part of our kit that we are supposed to value if it's valuable. I mean, I'm not as high on you on her, but I'm probably higher than most, so I don't mind leading with her, I would say.
Yeah,
But where do you? I don't think Sylvans should be that far from her, but
yeah, I agree. I
I think I
agree.
could go
That
Iris.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
this way,
yeah,
Yeah,
Steven
I
below
think that's
Iris.
fine.
Yeah,
I think that's fine. Yeah.
and N follows up as a hypnosis bullshit plus decent
yeah,
blah blah blah. We already covered him.
and then Dawn, and then the rest of the yellow group. So pretty much
Aligning
the
Dawn
same.
with the Rock is also nice, but is
Uh,
Tech Gara really that
What's
good
the rack?
though?
I think Tech Gara, we can rediscuss him because he was added pretty recently in the list. For what it's worth, I think he's kind of overweighted in the
Yeah,
GB
just
list
because
because
it's rain and
people
footage, but
like rain by default.
yeah.
But I don't think like the thing is, I don't think those units are particularly better than him either.
Like they do
Yeah.
more, but in practice, it's not as relevant. If you get what I mean. Like I agree with May because I think May is kind of overrated now as well. But like, just kind of thinking if do we need to adjust anything in B plus to move to A minus as well? I think the top half is fine now, but it's mostly the bottom half that streamlines into the rest that we kind of need to address.
The thing with Tech Gara, I feel, is like the way he synergizes well with the unit you pair him with, but individually
Spark.
he's not
Let
as high as he should
you
be.
can talk after. Let Dark finish, please.
Like all I'm saying is like he synergizes well with what you pair him with, but individually he's not that great.
Yeah. Honestly, I personally would put him probably just to end the tier.
Yeah, that's fine. I think.
Yeah.
I don't
Don
think he's
Doran
better
made
than May.
Can you repeat?
I think he's better than May.
I think May, yes, but Darak not really.
So that means you
Yeah,
want
consider
the Dark
Darak above.
above
Yes,
May,
yes,
and this.
yes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm fine with that.
And one
Alright.
more thing, Spark, do not put Nessa alone in a subgroup.
Okay.
Share it with Steven and Dyrus. That's more accurate.
And then you group this way.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I
better.
would probably
You can attach
detach
Don and
Don
yeah,
in
that's
that
fine.
case.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I go up until Steven, you know. I can revise that later, but I would probably arrange those instead.
Yeah.
Fine.
I would.
I prefer Steven on red group,
Okay.
but I
Well,
understand
if you're
where you come.
several people to agree.
Oh, does Gessin still sit alone in A? Probably not,
Well, you're
right?
the one fucking destroying Pantai Serena every time we talk.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care personally. I think she might as well join him, but
I mean, in the past we had all four of them same subgroup, but yeah, I might as well just put them together. Fuck it.
see, you lost that battle forever now.
Aye.
To be fair, she's quite
Okay.
lower than in other spheres, so you did
No,
win.
it's not that lower now. It's literally just swapped with Getsis compared to Ropal's list now, technically. So I
I
mean,
think
whatever.
it's quite relevant to say, is she there or is she in the? But yeah, whatever. Can we not waste time with?
Okay.
Yeah. So what we did the other day, I don't know who was there. I know we talked with Ryan, but we kind of bumped Rosa quite a lot while dropping Malo a little bit from there and somewhat align them. Uh, Anyone wants to cover something there?
Particular, I like silver more than oak, but it's
Oh, I
very
didn't mention
small.
that to Ryan as well. Yeah.
I can see
Yeah,
the
I'm fine with that.
association with like Misty as well because of the whole water types that can run both offensive and utility builds and whatever the hell. And offensive builds, the demands are similar, but uh
I mean, if there
mm,
is nothing to touch, let's not touch.
just thinking about it because I was kind of in the past I was kind of thinking like, do I value like
It changed quite a lot.
we are the only zealots in a world of non-believers?
Oh, she's not moving, so
Okay,
it's okay. Neither above or below. Really, my
I'm just
only
thinking.
argument would be above will if you really want, but
I'm
that's
just
about
kind of
it.
thinking, do I want her above Will or not at this point? Because it
No,
aligns better with Oak. But like,
I think
Uh,
for me she's better than Oak, but I know I
yeah, but
already
no
threw
one
high
is
on her.
willing to do that. I think she's
No,
better than Oak too, but
I don't care. I think Will we kinda I'm glad that I dropped him because we kind of overrated him in the aspect of sure he's very good as soon as you buff him and stuff, but after all he's not he's not self-sufficient at all. Like he still requires. When we say Lisa has requirements, he does have to. So that's the same thing. And she's
Same
better
as Oak, but yeah,
juggler.
I think you just put Oak in the reds or the yellow subgroup. Then I think that's better.
I think I would. I think I still prefer him above them.
It's fine, fair enough. I mean, it's a lot different from what other people do anyway. But yeah,
I mean that's the point. A list is subjective.
okay.
Let's praise the best girl. Plus,
Maybe Rob will change his mind
Will
after the
is in
4.3 showcase.
DD. Uh,
The
so
annoying
and
borderline
yeah,
problem.
tomorrow
Yeah.
Ropalm is clearing max point with Licia in the team. Easy.
At least I hope so. It might depend on which
Yeah.
parameters we get, but
If it doesn't work, fuck
no,
Rosa.
I'm pretty sure it will work
Buff, please.
because it's Caitlyn. Caitlyn is far weaker than Phoebe.
Hey,
Buff,
actually,
please.
if I do that,
I hope it works and he gets a
I
buff.
might as well bite the bullet and assume the Licia bias because for most people she's there, so might as well.
Yeah, we'll be able to say that Licia can max point for a
Easy.
Cynthia.
Easy
Yes.
clap. I think some of you probably have some stuff to say there. I am fine with that order or some other type of orders.
I'm
So
fine with it, personally.
I'm fine too.
Nothing really needs to be changed except maybe
Ropalm
Plumeria.
was about to say something.
No, I say that I'm fine with it.
Okay. Yeah, I think only Ryan did mention he kind of wanted Plumeria a higher, which I don't particularly agree with, but it's a subgroup anyway, so
Yeah, I'm just saying like it's just a debate. It doesn't have to happen. It's just kind of a thought.
yeah, no, I think I like this order. Honestly, I don't really
Okay.
want to change much.
Okay, okay.
I think I like this order too. Maybe someone wants to talk again about Lily outside of switching your category.
I think Lily is not a pair we can objectively rank at the moment because she is kind of a mixed bag because I feel like unlike something like Misty or Kukui, she's very half-assed and not tunneled into like both offense and defense. She is as mixed of a bag as you can be without the cohesiveness that you get from something like even like
Yeah,
something like Morty or Erica. But like the AoE attack, special attack debuffs and the
yeah, but
damage is kind of.
is she fine there? I mean, I don't see her
I
I
like
think
making.
you
Brock
drop her a
more, but
bit. I think you can drop her a bit, but I think Brock is kind of a very awkward range because I
Yeah,
wanted Brock to drop a bit as well. I don't really like Brock that much.
no, I
It's literally
don't
just
either. Ropalm, you are saying?
um, I prefer Brock over her, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that she needs to drop further than below Brock.
Okay. Dark, do you
I
have?
agree. I don't think Brock should. I think below Brock is fine, but I also don't think Brock should drop any lower because he still does do the same things, or at least similar things to what Brawly does. He's just worse at it.
Yep, that's fair. Oh, I like it.
like what Brawly does. Like I think I think
No,
the
he's a
big
worse
thing
Broly.
is
That's what
He's
I
a
was
worse
saying.
Brawly, yeah.
mostly because of the things he debuffs. Yeah, I mean fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he's a worse Broly, which is
Okay.
Yeah.
fine, and that justifies the inspiration.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually had Brock is separate from Brody on the Game Press list. I only came back because people wanted him
Really? Ah,
together.
fuck. Let's convince them.
Yeah, I also had Brock is separate because I think
Yeah,
Brody is
it's
just
it's weird to not. It's fine to associate them, but it's weird to not see the gap. Not the gap, but the Hey,
Yeah.
this
That
is just
Brawl is
Especially
better.
post fighting zone now as
this is
well,
just
which
the
is like
same
whatever,
unit,
but
but better. Yeah, you have fighting zone now, by the way. True. Whatever. Those two are fine to end for me, and I quite like this order. So if anyone wants to chime in, I will let you.
I think it's fine.
it's fine. Yeah.
Pikachu or it's
Oh,
the
Yeah,
only
you
you
thing
can
want
that
make an
Pikachu?
argument.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we buff Pikachu, there's always one of us that says, "Hey, actually, Grimsley is not that bad," and then we buff Grimsley, and then
Yeah,
there's
it's a
always
loop.
one of us that say, "Hey, by the way, Pikachu's not that bad." So which one we end with?
Yeah.
Just don't
Just
detach them by subgroup. Then just
yeah,
put a
just put them in the
symbol.
same
No,
subgroup.
you can. Yeah, you can if you want. Okay,
Unless you
but
want like Gran
which
to be
one?
the one at the end.
Which one is
Gran
at
be
the
the
end? I think.
doesn't
I think
matter.
if I have to go personal, I would just acknowledge the niche of Grimsley being a snatch user. Hey, that's
Yeah.
something, you know.
Yeah. Like when
Uh,
he does work, he's like what, B tier? Maybe B
yeah,
minus.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's this kind of mix of like I can tank with the evasion ridiculous.
Honestly, I like. I have so much fun using him on
Yeah,
Cresselia.
he's very risky.
I
Like in
like.
terms of a unit, he's fun. He's just bad.
I just like using him on Cresselia. Like I go in the sage,
Yeah.
he tanks and he steals the buff. He flinches a little
Yeah.
bit for Karen.
Actually,
It's
too, I
fun.
was playing it with Tapu Bulu as well.
Audio cat.
You did
Audio
cut
cut.
again.
What?
You did
Your
cut.
audio cut.
So I was talking about how I use Grimsley in Bulu as a tank, and it was just dodging everything and healing
Yeah.
all the chip off. That was kind of
Yeah.
No, I think he's a legit tank. It's just that you have so many far better options. He's somewhat
Yeah.
legit.
I also never questioned Grant, do we? I guess mostly because of the flinch and all, but he doesn't really
I mean,
offer that much outside of the flinch, so
he does nuke better than both of them for one, and he does have his own like sort of tank build.
does he?
Yeah.
I don't think he looks better than
Actually,
Grimsley
now
in
that
particular, but
we
yeah.
mentioned those stuff, I did legit prefer this. I mean, I know it's super minor, but I'm
We
legit
literally were just
preferring.
talking about what we preferred between like Pikachu and Grimsley though, so I think that's just more indicative
I mean,
rather than
that was Robam saying that, but I personally prefer enough to separate them. And
I
I
mean,
don't
that's
fair
think,
enough.
fine.
and I don't think
I'm fine with
Grunt
that.
is much better than Grimsley to
Yeah,
separate.
he's
You
not.
know, I prefer
I think it's
separating.
worse, in fact.
Yeah, I prefer
I won't
separate.
say he's worse.
No, I
I
wouldn't
don't want
say
to
it's
put Grim. I don't want
worse.
to put Gran as the last unit in the.
Like,
No,
I
no.
think Grimsey's more niche, but when he works, he's better than Grant.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, what I meant is I can see the argument to group them, but if I were to if I have to separate, I prefer separating from Pikachu than separating from Grunt, is what I meant. So I prefer this.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Robam, for the little Pikachu. To be fair, you can use him as a decent striker with
The argument is
or
also that the other two Pikas exist now. So does it buff this Pika, triple Pika, or whatever the hell?
actually it doesn't. It, uh, it, it, I mean, not the triple Pika doesn't like he doesn't do anything in that composition. But you can use him with one of the Pika. That's fine. Okay. Anything to tackle or something?
That should be it then. Yeah.
Damn, that was a long one, actually.
Almost 3 hours, I think. Yeah. 3 hours.
Over
2
3
hours,
hours.
58 minutes.
Oh, it's not yet, but
About
yeah.
3 hours.
Yep. I'd wrap up the podcast actually. We can hang out a bit afterward. So I guess
Yeah.
thanks for those who went that far in the video. That's huge.
It's already 1:10 a.m. I
Yeah.
need to fall asleep after this.
Yep.